man. It's so rough.
Yo, relax.
What's good, brother?
Yo. I did not know I was gonna. This man Kofi told everyone, "Do not show up for work today." And it was then an hour before. I was like, "Yo, I come through."
I was wondering what happened because I'm like, "Wait, Tony over here." he told niggas take the day off and then.
Yeah, you lied by the way. Hold on.
Oh, it's like,
What's good, Jack?
What's good, brother?
Mr. Jonathan.
Yes, sir. How you doing, brother?
Chilling, man.
Oh,
Yo, what's
man,
going on with the West?
Bruh. Bro, did you see how we lost in 3 games, right?
I seen the Warriors lose last night and dropped all the way to like what, the play-in or some shit like that. I don't know what the fuck is going on.
3 through 8 is separated by like a game, bro. It's bad.
That's crazy. All right, so y'all play tonight. Y'all play against
Timberwolves,
Minnesota, right? Wait, so if y'all lose this, y'all in the play-in, right?
Yeah. We only got them in Dallas, and I think Dallas in the play-in too.
Yeah, Dallas is in the play-in. So they kind of jockeying for a higher spot as well. Yeah, the West is crazy. Like you said, like 3 through fucking 8 or some shit is like separated by a game or 2. Man, exciting playoffs.
Yo, y'all pre the influx of LeBron remixes. Holy, yes, cracking at them records, bro.
LeBron.
Bro, you hear the Cardi shit? The remix from the Cardi album, J-Bait?
Nah, I don't think I heard that one.
I'm gonna have to send you. Someone did you know the song Fine Shit? I believe it's called Fine Shit.
Oh yeah.
Someone did a LeBron joint, bro. I had me on the floor. Someone did Backdoor too, bro. Someone did Backdoor. Yo, I had me on the floor, bro.
Nah, I gotta hear that one. I gotta hear that one.
That shit is hilarious. Now I'm gonna send it to you. I'm gonna drop you the link. That shit was.
Nah, the funniest shit I've been seeing. They put a green screen to that buff Diesel nigga that was throwing the controller at the screen. So they put the green screen on the screen that he was throwing the controller at. And they've been putting mad different games and movies and shit.
That clip, when that clip dropped, bro, I was on the ground. Yo, you know how nasty that clip is? Yo, bro got the headset. And it's not even plugged into the DualSense, which the controller, the DualShock, is off.
Yeah.
And he's whipping the controller at a GTA cutscene, bro. Like, this shit is comedy, bro. I had me rolling, yo.
And what TV? They throw that shit at like a Sharp Aquos or something.
That whole
definitely $70. Definitely $70.
Yo, that whole scene was, yo. You know what a man said? A man said that's his real crib, yo. That's crazy, bro.
One night said that.
I heard a man said that's his real crib, bro. Oh man, that was nasty.
They was getting on him because he was at the Miami Heat game the other night. It was like, ain't it past your bedtime and shit? He turned that whole shit into a skit too.
I'm crying. All right, hold on. Let me just let the people know that I'm freaking live in case they don't already.
But I already knew he was gonna start getting like brand deals and opportunities, endorsements and shit like that off of that.
People like that shit, bro.
Laughing straight. That's what happened with that other dude. What's his name? Drew Walls or some shit like that.
He fell off though. Drew Walls fell off.
Yeah, he did fall off. But at first, like everybody, he actually tried to make a comeback, like kind of like dissing the other dude.
Or there was another guy doing the routine thing.
The target guy.
Target guy. Yep, Drew. He was doing a routine thing at first, where he would go to like Target and shit, set up the camera.
His shit fell off. He tried to come back, huh?
Yeah, he fell off.
Daughter and all that.
Oh, okay, I see. Okay, straight. Yo, Jack, man, you the most requested. You know that, right? You know you the most.
What you mean most requested? What you mean?
You know what I mean? We've been on the hunt. Trying to find a third and possibly a fourth. You know, so I put these little 2 prospects in here. I put Tony and Strat. You know what I mean? The homies, the homies, right? You know what? I'm like, yo, honestly, these guys are not bad people. When we in the Discord, we cut it up. We have good laughs. Only if this could translate on the podcast. But they come over here and get all cool in the face.
Oh,
get all
shot and shit.
Yeah, bro. Shit is lame as hell, bro. Like they don't have the same energy they have when this is. Yo, bro. I'm like, yo, calm down. Y'all act the same, bro. You know what I mean?
That's crazy.
You know what I mean? So it's crazy. I'm trying to work on them boys, bro. But a couple, I can't even lie. I've been getting a lot of comments saying kick them niggas out, bro. I go hold you.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
I can't even lie. We got a cause. Yo. Kofi, I hope these ain't the permanent members, bro. I hope they ain't the permanent.
Yo, that must have been about. I ain't seen those. That must be DMs. I ain't seen those.
Damn.
I heard them say Strappy moaning on the mic.
I'm crying, bro. I'm fucking crying, bro. Holy shit, bro. Oh man, we're gonna give the young boys some time and see what they can cook with. If not, yo, I'm gonna tell them to take a couple pods off. You know what I mean? But they might not be back. I know.
Email them their walking papers. That's crazy.
What happens when the game?
Text document.
What happens when the game gets like? What's the word they be using when the game gets delayed indefinitely? Yeah, they're gonna be members that are delayed indefinitely. You know what I mean?
They gonna get sunsetted off the pod.
I ain't gonna get fired. I ain't gonna no BG. I ain't gonna fire nobody. But they gonna be delayed indefinitely. That's what I'm gonna call it, bro. All right.
Kofi Hills with the Jason Schreier just last week, bro. We found out the Jason wasn't doing the pod.
All right, yo, let me shout out a couple of people in the chat, bro. Yo, shout out to all the people watching the podcast live. We do appreciate y'all. We missed last week. Some shit came up, but we back for this week. So we're gonna pretty much talk about all the shits that's been going on for the past couple of weeks and shit. Nothing too crazy, just the major topics for real, just the major topics. But I want to shout out DX Taker, Alex PSX, Arcade. I see you, Kempachi in the chat. Who else up in here? Steve Killer. What's up? The Sly Crow. Hustle Motivate. What's good? I'm never gonna call you by your new name, by the way. No disrespect. You're always gonna be Hustle Motivate. You know what I mean?
Oh, hindsight with hustle.
Yeah. Hindsight with hustle. You Hustle Motivate to me, brother.
I ain't saying nothing insightful yet. I'm still waiting. This shit crazy. No, I'm bullshit. That's my boy.
Benji in the chat. Drew Tube. Who else up in here, man? Nice Tyson. What's good? Leaky. Who else up in here needs a quick shout out? Perel. What's up? Brandon. What's up? Shout out to Brandon, bro. Nev in the chat. Low-key, Nev's my number one op, bro. Have you noticed? He be sneak on the low. Every time we play a video game or a Monopoly, he's always against me. He doesn't want to see me win. When I land on a property, he's cheering against me. That's my own. Yo, the guy lived down the street. Yo, why is he my op, yo? He lives down the street, bro. Like, he's my op for real, bro.
You ever met him?
Nah, bro, he refuses to, bro. He avoids me. He's like, yo, if I seen Kofi, I'll just pretend I never seen him.
Yeah,
crazy.
Yo, you know what's crazy, Jay, man? I thought Nev was antisocial. I'm like, yo, if I pull up to Canada, what's happening? He was like, oh yeah, let's link. You just don't fuck with Kofi.
Oh, he really don't fuck with you.
Just don't fuck with Kofi.
Crazy.
That's crazy, right? Holy, that's nasty, Nev, bro. I'm gonna catch you one day, I ain't gonna be pretty too, bro.
I remember when y'all was in the Discord with the pre-order shit. He was like, I hope that shit get canceled.
Yeah, bro. He's always wishing the worst on me, bro.
Get it.
Yo, man. Hey, man. It's good. You gotta keep people like that around. You know, keep you grounded. You gotta keep people like that around. Keep you grounded. You know what I mean? Other people like to surround themselves with a whole bunch of dick suckers and pubic hairs and shit like that. So. Me, I like people who keep me grounded.
Put a name out there, goddamn.
Not too much on BG.
Wow. What's it called, bro? Same old 23. What's good? I think that's about everyone that needs a shout out. Who needs a shout out right now, man? I do appreciate y'all pulling up on the podcast, and we won't get started, man. Let's see what everyone been playing, man. Let's start off with the dude that played no games because it's gonna be real short. J Main. What you been playing this week, bro?
Wow. What are you playing this week? Don't do me like that. I just got back from Boston, nigga. I ain't playing like that. I was playing South of Midnight this week. That's what the fuck I've been on.
Okay.
Yeah, that's South of Midnight. Put a couple hours into that. really liking it so far. Like I could tell, you know, the reviews came out. It was sitting at like, you know, mid to high 70s. You know, I could see where like some of the complaints was coming from so far, at least with the gameplay. Like as far as the combat, I ain't even gonna say the gameplay because I actually like a lot of the her strand abilities that you use to get around puzzles and traverse the environments and stuff like that. The story and the voice acting and stuff like that, I could already tell as early as I am in the game, this shit gonna be tugging at some heartstrings. And you know, Deep South, a lot of stories and slavery and stuff like that. So, you know, I like it though. I like it. I like where it's headed. I like where, you know, I feel like the combat is opening up though. So I'm just hoping maybe it'll get a little bit more dynamic. But it seems as though like you go to an arena, you take care of the enemies, and then that's pretty much it. Like some of the enemies are like, you know, pretty basic and shit like that. So but you know, I'm a see it through. You know,
can we stay here real quick?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, what's it called? I think everyone here has played South of Midnight but Tony, and I saw Jack streaming the game too. Jack, you've been streaming the game too, right? You want to add in your little 2 cents while we're here talking about South of Midnight? About your thoughts of your experience so far from playing it?
Got like 6 hours in the game. I definitely I agree with everything J-Main said. But this game, in the words of my guy Blanchard, was definitely oozing charm, you know what I mean? It's a strong 8 for me at least. And the only downfall of this game is the combat. But like J-Main said, I'm unlocking new abilities. Some of the shit kind of, I guess you'll say wonky, but I would say everything else in the game is so like above average or great that it actually overshadows the down, you know, the bad parts of this game. I'm just having fun, bro. I love the game, bro. To the aesthetic, to the music, everything. Black main protagonist. It ain't no coon shit. The stories, you know what I mean? They ain't really pulling no punches with the storytelling. So it's a dope ass game, bro. I really enjoy it.
All right, yeah, and you know, pretty much you guys are expressing the exact same sentiments of how I feel about the game. I actually got the game early, and I was actually planning on doing a full-blown review. Then I ain't gonna lie, bro. This is gonna sound like shade, but it's no shade. I saw a Kid Smooth get a review code copy, and I scrapped that shit, bro. I'm like, they gave it to everybody.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
They gave it to everybody. I scrapped that shit, bro.
I saw a few niggas on the timeline like, thanks Xbox for the code. I'm like, what?
After I seen that shit, I'm like, you know what? I am not wasting my time.
They didn't give me the code. That's fucked up.
I was about to say, now Grumps might have been right. That was DEI. They was handing that motherfucker out like it was, you know what I mean? It was, like we was at the
he didn't even want it no more, Kofi.
They told me to go fuck myself. That's crazy.
I'm like, you know, there's no point in me doing that. At this point, everyone's gonna have a video about this shit. So I'm like, I'm gonna let it go. I'm gonna just talk about it on the podcast. So, but pretty much the sentiment's the same, man. Jack, you pretty much nailed it. How I pretty much feel about the game too. It's like they did everything else so well except for the combat of that game, bro. I do think the platform is a little on the stiffer side too, but it's, you know, it's still pretty much enjoyable. Yeah. But from the visuals, the music, the story, the art side, all of that shit is fantastic. But the combat it's really the weakest part of the game. And when I had a preview of that game, when Microsoft sent the early preview and I got to check it out, it was pretty much how I felt about it then. It hasn't really changed.
Yeah. Are y'all playing with the stop motion animations or
it's not that. I found it that it's not even that aggressive. Have you noticed that it's not even aggressive?
Yeah, they toned it down a lot, bro. It's not.
Yeah, it's not even.
Yeah. It's not that bad. I was wondering though, like, because I'm gonna try it with it off just a little bit, just to see if it'll improve like some of the timing and stuff like that with combat. Not that the combat is hard or anything, but just to see if there is any difference. But I've been playing with it on so far, and it hasn't been bothering me or anything like that. I like it.
Yeah.
Hold on, J-Man. What difficulty you on, J-Man?
I'm playing it on the normal shit, on normal difficulty right now.
Get him out of here, Cole.
Get him.
This nigga talking about timing. What the fuck? Come on, man. I'm trying to get the time.
Listen.
Get the fuck out of here, man.
I was gonna put it on the hardest difficulty, but nigga, I barely.
You ain't gonna waste your time.
It's not bad, bro.
I already don't be having enough time to game these days, nigga. I ain't trying to like be wasting my time, beating my head over that. You know what I mean, with these fucking enemies and shit like that, man. Put that shit on easy. I mean,
it ain't
not
that
easy,
bad.
normal, and keep going.
Yeah, like the game is all right though. I'm actually not I kind of put a pause on my playthrough. I think I got to like chapter 6 and I stopped playing. But I do plan on finishing it before the year is over. Once again, I think the game is a solid game, man. I think we're actually scoring around on Metacritic. It ain't that bad. Like, it got in the 70s, high 70s. I think that's about right how I feel about the game. So I ain't gonna lie, bro. I think that's about right. But J-Main, back to you. We went on a little tangent. Have you been playing anything else besides Alpha Midnight, or that's pretty much it?
Nah, that's all I've been locked in on.
All right, cool. Tony, what you been playing, bro?
I finished Death Stranding. You know what I mean? Great game. Got the platinum.
Finally.
Kofi doesn't have that. You know what I mean?
Coming soon.
Oh, you got
the Death Stranding.
Coming soon. I don't have it.
The
I don't have it. I'm gonna get it soon.
What the fuck?
I feel like the thing with Kofi is I really feel like, you know what I mean? It's like Drake and Kendrick, yo. It's Drake and Kendrick, yo. I'm doing it off the muscle, no bots. No stream, raw numbers. This guy Kofi doing double platinums on Uncharted, playing PS4 versions, loading up the PS5 version.
Yo, Jack, don't make me yo, Jack, don't even do that no type of shit, bro. Because you got all the platinums too, bro. You got all the platinums too. Don't tell me you never double up on that shit.
I ain't mad at the double ups, but he saying he doing the new. You ain't got that.
It's cap.
That's
it's
your
cap.
game. He saying he getting it in your game.
We're gonna talk about your boy beating his first Monster Hunter and getting the platinum in that. We're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about your boy getting the Returnal platinum.
Disrespectful.
Come on, Tony.
That's respectable.
Tony know about getting the Sekiro platinum. Yo, all of Tony. Yo, you know how you go on the internet and you do the Google searches and to see how hard is a platinum? All of Tony's platinums are 2 out of 10. 2 to 3 out of 10 max. Facts. No hard joints on this whole shit. No hard shits on this joint. He doesn't have a 7 out of 10. He doesn't have an 8 out of 10. All 2 out of 10s. Facts. Let's talk about it, Tony.
That's not true. Listen. I'm getting it. I got the seafood platinum this week too. Yes, sir.
Yo, Jack, don't okay that. Yo, they added easy mode. He got it when they added easy mode. Facts.
You play easy mode, Tony. You play easy mode.
I cleaned up collectibles in
Yo,
crazy.
If you don't have, bro, if you didn't get the seafood platinum, won that in the first week of launch, that shit don't even count, bro. Y'all got that shit when the easy mode came out. We bagged that. They nerfed it. They did nerf it. That's facts. Do your research, bro. They nerfed it. Facts. What else you been playing, bro?
I'm 9 trophies, 9 platinums behind catching up to Kofi.
You're not catching up.
It's a nasty work. It's nasty work the way this guy gets platinum. So
you're not catching up, and all my platinums are great.
So what, y'all got money on that? Who gonna have the most platinums?
I think
I'm just trying to clean this fuck nigga up.
I think it's a closer. I think it's a race up to 100. I think I'm gonna cool it when I get that big 100. You know what I mean? I'm gonna cool it up. I'm gonna get that big 100 and I'm gonna chill out a bit. You know what I mean? But yeah, is that how you been playing, Tony? The Death Stranding, cleaning that up.
That's it. Seafood and Death Stranding. Seafood and Death Stranding.
All right, so Jack, besides Alpha Midnight, that we clearly see you playing on stream. Make sure y'all go check that out if y'all haven't already. What else you been playing, bro? Anything else? Are you still a depressed gamer, sir? Are you still a depressed gamer since the last time I talked to you?
Definitely still a depressed gamer. Definitely. The only other game I was playing was Ratchet & Clank Size Matters, the PS5 version. Never played it before. I think that's a PSP game. Yep. I only played it for a couple hours. I'm actually really enjoying it. Because I just played Daxter for the first time.
Classic.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie. Compared to Daxter,
the controls are horrible, Jack. Though the controls are horrible today. The controls are horrible, bro.
What
the hell, CNN? I got CNN going on this shit. What the fuck? I got CNN.
Bro, the platforming is terrible, bro, in that game.
And Daxter, or
yes, bro. Yeah. No, Size Matters cool. I'm enjoying that joint. I'm enjoying it. That's it though. Just play it. And people come to my stream. It's so many new games out, Jack. What are you doing? I'm like, bro, I don't want to play none of that shit, bro. Like,
I don't blame you, bro.
I'm considering getting that Indiana Jones, Jack. Is that not it?
On PlayStation?
You might like it, bro. You might like it's mid, bro. It's mid, dog. I ain't gonna lie to you.
I was eyeing it up.
I rage quit the joint, bro. I ain't gonna even lie.
Jack, the old games hit, bro. Don't let no one shame you into replaying some great.
No,
bro. The old games hit, man. They do hit. I love playing old shit, bro.
Ain't it crazy though, Kofi? The same games that made people gamers and the reason they game in the day, they'll see that and be like, why the fuck would you play that? Like, bro, you literally grew up playing this, bro. Like, what are you complaining about? What are you talking about?
I don't really subscribe to that shit too. Like, you know, as soon as a game get like about like a year old, 2 years old, people would be like, you know, we don't want to play this shit no more. Me, yo,
it ain't worth nothing no more.
It's like it's like pulling back some episodes of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, bro. Like, that's how I feel about a good game, like a good game that I enjoyed in the past. You know what I mean? It's always nice, even if you watch the episode before, you watch it 30 million times. You know what I mean? It's just a comfort game. I love playing comfort games. You know what I mean? I got a couple of those. Myself, real quick before we move on and start talking about some of the shit that happened. What have I been playing? I've been playing Bleach Rebirth of Souls. I'm working on that. Honestly, I can't even lie. The game's a little disappointing. It's not bad. It's not bad, but I was expecting it. I thought the game was gonna be a lot more hype. I ain't gonna lie, bro. It's a little disappointing. I think Sparking Zero is a way better game, to be honest. But I am enjoying it somewhat because obviously I'm a fan of the anime.
For a week too, though.
What? Oh, shut up, bro. You know how much I was like that shit? Shut up, bro. Shut up. So I've been playing that, and I'm slowly chipping away, trying to get all the trophies and platinums and that. So I'm progressing through the story. And what else have I been playing? I've been playing low-key. I dusted off, you know, with all the Switch talk, Nintendo talk that's been happening. I can't even lie. I dusted off the Switch, and I fired up a new game, man. A game that I actually haven't played before. I never played the OG. So I've been playing Super Mario RPG, and I'm about 15 hours into the game. I literally need one. I'm literally fighting the final boss today. I actually started fighting the final boss today. And I should be done that game probably after this podcast. So Super Mario RPG, and my thoughts of playing it, someone who's experiencing it for the first time, it's pretty solid, man. I can't even lie, it's pretty solid. It's obviously you know a child's first RPG in terms of mechanics and stuff like that. It's nothing super complicated that will have you busting your brain or you're gonna be dying like a whole bunch. But it's definitely been an enjoyable experience. I can't even lie. Low-key, I kind of like Mario RPG games. I always did. I used to play them back in the day on the DS and joints and stuff like that, even the Paper Marios. I always liked Mario RPGs and turn-based Mario games. I always thought they were fun. So I'm actually almost done that game.
Was it like what, remastered for the Switch? They remastered?
Yeah, they remade it. Remade it.
Okay.
Yeah. The original dropped on the Super NES. I never played that on the Super NES, so this is my first time actually running through the game, and I'm enjoying it though. I'm enjoying it for what it was. It has a lot of cool little Easter eggs here and there, and a lot of cool little stuff. Like, it's a fun game. I can't even lie. They got some cool mini games in there, so I'm enjoying my time with it. I'm almost done though, and pretty much. Oh, I did get The Last of Us Part 2 remastered. Shout out to PlayStation. They sent me the PC review code copy for that, and I did fire that up on PC. Yo, that game looked good on the ultra wide, bro. That shit look good, bro. That shit real good, bro. And it run pretty well on the Steam Deck, man. It run pretty well on the Steam Deck. I can't even lie, man. Maybe this is the early signs of, you know what? I've been thinking to myself. I think why PlayStation cares about. No, but hear me out. I think PlayStation cares about Steam Deck compatibility because I feel like this is a test, honestly, to see how their games scale on a lower end spec hardware like that. I really do feel like the Steam Deck is something that they're using as a just see how the games run on it low key, because I think that new PSP
for their own handheld.
I think so. I really do believe that
3 to 4 million seller. Got you.
Jack, do you think
the
new handheld coming? I think so. What do you think?
I don't even know at this point, bro. I mean, I want one to come, but I don't know. I feel like, what's the point at this? Like, what's the point, bro? Because they already putting their games on PC and they can run on their deck verified now, right? So it's like, is it a market for this shit? I don't know.
You don't think? Yeah, well, you're right in saying that there's already competition and there's already products, but with that being said, do you think just because there's a competition, so they shouldn't jump in it? You don't think they would excel in it if they were in it and be one of the best? And their brand power, their brand power is already strong enough. You don't think they can beat a Steam Deck or ROG Ally? I think they could.
They could, but the way they've been moving recently, I mean, they would have to come out at a compelling price point. The specs would have to be on point. All these things are possible, but like I said, bro, just the way they've been moving, there's no telling what type of fucking shenanigans they would try to pull. Yeah, so it's like, I don't know. I want one personally. You know what I mean? I bought the Portal. I enjoy it, but we'll see.
Sir. We'll see. All right, so let's get to the shit, man. Last week we couldn't react for you guys with the Nintendo Direct. So we're gonna do it right now, and we're gonna keep it short. So we're not gonna waste too much time. We're gonna get to the meat and potatoes of the conversation about game prices and the aftermath of the the reveal, because that's where the most of the discussion has been. Can I pretty much get y'all? I want to hear from Jack. You know what I mean? Y'all heard from me when I did a little live stream a couple of days ago, so I'm not gonna talk too much here.
They said that was damage control last stream.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
Wait, what you say?
Here we go. We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about
damage control rush into the ring.
I think Jazzy been going on a whole PR tour. I seen Jazzy in that. I said, damn.
Yeah, I popped into that motherfucking test. Is that Mr. Jefferson?
I'm saying, damn.
I did a little open mic. I did a little open mic with the chat. But Jack, okay, give me your thoughts without obviously the aftermath. Because when the shit shut off, shit went crazy. You know what I mean? After the shit shut off. But can you give me how you were thinking just watching the direct live and when you got to the end of it and shit? Like, what were was it positive? Was Nintendo doing your thing, or were you underwhelmed? Like, I'm just curious.
I was thoroughly impressed. They mentioned shit that I did not think they was gonna mention. They talking about frame rates. They saying 60, 120 FPS. They mentioning 4K. I'm like, damn. I ain't never think Nintendo would be talking like that. And on top of that, bro, like everything people complained about the Switch, Joy-Cons being too small, all right, they made them bigger. Screen being too small, they made it bigger. Games not being the right resolution, they made it better. Horrible frame rates, they made it better. And they got the games coming out. I don't know. That's why I said when I went to Twitter after I watched this, I was kind of shocked. And then I ain't know a lot of the other stuff, like you said, the aftermath. I ain't know everything that was going on. But aside from, like I said, aside from some of the business practices they trying to pull with this shit, from a spec standpoint, I don't see what else anybody could have been asking for. I think they over exceeded what people was looking for, and people still got problems with it. Like, and I think it's because of the aftermath. If all that bad news didn't come out after the showing, people wouldn't be saying like, bro.
I agree, because I think the sentiment during and watching it, I think it was actually extremely positive. I didn't see no one killing it like while it was live. Even right after, I think people were really happy. I think until the price.
I had a little bit of an issue while watching it.
All right, so
that's what people asking. Where's the games? That's what people asking. Where's the games?
Yeah, I was surprised actually how much they focused on third party. I thought a Nintendo Direct for the Switch 2 would actually focus a little bit more on first party. I think they spent a little bit too much time focusing on how much third party is going to be on the system. Really, especially given how much third party doesn't really sell on the platform. So I thought we was going to get a couple more compelling first party titles that they could have showcased. That we got. I think Mario Kart 8 was probably the only thing. Oh, and Donkey Kong, absolutely, were the two things that I really stood out to me. Yeah. All that other stuff for me was all right, no. And then that Dragon Drive game is absolute dog shit.
Do you think that is Nintendo the one we got to worry about with first party software though? Like, I feel like they kind of.
No, I don't. From a worry standpoint, I'm not worried going forward. All right, they're not gonna have it. But I just thought they weren't gonna focus on the third party that much. That's all I'm saying.
That's understandable.
Looking at it from that, going forward, no, I'm not. Even for launch, we got Mario Kart World, which looks amazing. Donkey Kong, which looks great. That's coming within a launch window and stuff like that. And then who knows what we got for the rest of the year? That's coming out because their announcement to launch windows don't be that long. So I just thought maybe they would focus on a little bit more. Oh no, and that's too. I'm not looking at a Switch for anything third party. So me personally,
PS4 games.
For me subjectively, I'm all right. They can miss me with all this other stuff. I really don't care too much.
You know what the third party told me, J-Main? It told me just kind of where the system at in terms of capabilities. Yes, I agree with you. I have no interest in playing Cyberpunk on the Switch. But seeing some of these third party games on the Switch kind of let me know where the power. I think it was a good way to convey the message of how strong the device, how much more potential it is than the last Switch. That's how I internalized seeing the third party support on the Switch.
Wasn't The Witcher 3 on the Switch?
Yeah, but that shit was
dog
shit,
bro. Yeah, that was bad.
That shit was super dog shit. You know what I mean? So actually seeing Cyberpunk, the visuals didn't look too bad, but I feel like I'm forgetting some of that. Also,
they showed Final Fantasy.
Yeah, that was the one.
7 remake.
When I saw the quality of that, I'm like, yo, visually, actually looks pretty damn good. So I was surprised. Yeah. Once again, it's another game that I won't ever support on the Switch. I already got that on PlayStation. I already got it on PC. But I think it conveyed the message that like, oh, this is a much stronger device. As for what you're saying on the first party front, go ahead. Actually, go ahead.
Mm-hmm. No, I was gonna say, you know what that the showing kind of made me question is, do they feel like they have to dip into that third party bag a little bit more this generation to entice people to buy it?
I don't think so.
As compared to the last generation, only because the differences between the two is not as striking as it was going from the Wii U to the Switch. Like looking at the Switch 1 to the Switch 2, you're not looking at it like, oh shit, like this
something
is completely
totally
different.
It's like an iteration.
Yeah, something totally new. The shock value is not there. So what else are you offering me? Oh shit, I can get these third-party games here that weren't on the previous one. Oh, them shits look just as good as a PS4 version, maybe a little bit even better.
I don't think so.
That's dope.
I don't think so, because you know what's going to sell the console? Mario Kart, Pokemon, and 3D Mario, because that's what's going to sell the device. You know what I mean? I don't think. Once again, there's third-party games that obviously have done well on the Switch, but I actually think the appeal of the device is going to be Nintendo's IP. You know, I think we all can agree there. Those are the games that when they go show us their financial reports that have 30 million, 20 million, 40 million, 50 million, something crazy. So I think that's the appeal of this device. And you know, the funny enough that you say that, like, we had conversations before. I don't know if you can recall, but we had a conversation before where I was saying that, like, since this is kind of more of an iteration than like a more of a innovation of a new device or something totally new, like I kind of already said it, like I don't feel like the Switch 2 is going to do Switch 1 numbers. That's just my personal opinion, because I just feel
of course not.
I just feel like it's not offering something new. It's not offering something new, so it's not going to have that appeal, that instant mass appeal that the old joint had. I do think it's going to do very well. I don't think it's going to flop or anything like that, but I don't see it doing 150. I'll be surprised. If it got...
I think it'll still do 100.
I think
but I don't think it's going to do as good as the first one. And especially now with all the backlash a little bit from the beginning. Like, I think the initial stock is going to still sell out regardless. But I think it is going to be a harder battle to keep those numbers like...
We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about that if that's fake outrage or thing in a bit. But I want to stay here first with the direct. We're going to see. We're going to talk about that a little bit later. All right. So, Tony, we didn't hear your thoughts on the direct. Let's jump to you real quick. So, you know, you have a Switch, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You plan on getting the Switch 2. I think you pre-ordered. You got a pre-order before anybody. That was the weirdest shit. This guy said I got a pre-order.
I'm still not convinced that is real.
I pre-ordered before they even showed it. Pre-ordered before they even showed it.
Yo, Jack, break it down for Jack. Yo, Tony pulled up with a Switch 2 pre-order like 2 months before the shit got announced for pre-order.
Before the direct
how does it? Yo, we're cooking this guy. He said he's gonna get a Sega Game Gear. The boy's gonna get a Sega Game Gear in the mail, bro. That's crazy.
Nigga with the trench coat at the corner was like, yo, I got that Switch 2 for you.
Yo. Street Stars gonna get a Rogue Ally with a Switch 2 sticker on it. Bro.
A man said he's gonna get a swap, bro.
G-Cloud.
Yo, a man said he's gonna get a swap, bro. He's not even gonna get a Switch. He's gonna get a swap, bro.
Yeah, you need to check that, brother. You need to check that.
Nah.
A Nintendo swap. That's funny as hell.
Yeah, I mean, when you tap 10, you can get the Switch Pro before it's even, revealed. We tapped in. When you tapped in. When you got the connections.
So what do you think, bro?
Nah, it was the same thing. It was the same thing J-Man was saying, where I was expecting some more first party reviews, and it ended up just being third party. Like, bro, I played these games 10 years ago. So
yeah.
I didn't. If I didn't pre-order it already, I wouldn't have went out and pre-ordered it. But now it's like I'm in too deep. And I got the Switch the Mario bundle, so it's only $50. So I mean, I could still stand with the gamers and say I'm not buying the $80 game. So my base is covered.
My base is covered. Okay, quickly, just some of the standout games we already mentioned. You already know Mario Kart Worlds look incredible.
Just Mario and Donkey Kong.
Donkey Kong look really good. I'm not really too familiar with Kirby Air Rides, but I heard that was a gem on the GameCube, but I never played it, so I ain't gonna cap for it. So I would love to see more, but I don't have any real excitement for that either.
They didn't show gameplay for that one.
Yeah. I was happy to see the performance boost that Metroid Prime 4 Beyond is getting. Apparently, if it's docked, apparently it's real 4K, and handheld has two modes. I think it has a 720, 120 hertz mode, 120 FPS, and it has a 1080p 60 mode or some shit like that. So in the quality. Right. So I think that's pretty dope. So for me personally, my main selling points for that device is I want to play the Metroid at performance. I want to play Mario Kart and I want to play Donkey Kong. Those are the only 3 games that I'm low key interested in.
Yeah.
All right. So, how did you guys feel about them showing off? Go ahead, Tony.
I was gonna say another thing is I'm looking forward to that. I held off on Breath of the Wild 2 because I'm like it's gonna come to Switch 2, so I'm not desperate to play this game. But again, it's they charging. What was this? Is it 70 or 80? I remember.
Bro, if you're buying it fresh,
if you're buying it new, 70.
It's nasty.
Buying it fresh, 70.
Yeah, it's
70. Yeah.
For
Tears of the Kingdom, you're talking about, right?
Yeah.
For both, I heard. Isn't it both the same shit price?
Oh yeah. You're right. It is both.
Kofi came through clutch. You know how he wouldn't bust down them super chats with well, you know who? Kofi busting down that Nintendo Switch family plan with 8 niggas. We got like $7 on it a piece. So yeah, I mean, I'm getting free upgrades.
Oh yeah, if you have the Nintendo Online, you get the upgrade for free.
So I'm gonna see if I can get me a base Switch version. And
I'm definitely getting on. I was on the family plan with my homies on the original Switch, so I'm definitely getting back on the family plan for sure.
Yes, sir. So I wanted to ask you guys, how do you guys feel about Nintendo, a company that literally has the greatest packing game of all time, is now selling a tutorial for the device? Jack, how do you feel about that shit, bro? A welcome tour for $10, and they're the company with the greatest packing of all time. I stand by that. Wii Sports. Greatest packing game of all time.
I agree with that. They need to be ashamed of themselves. This is a glorified tech demo. I've never seen somebody charge for a glorified tech demo. When you bought a Vita, Welcome Park was free. They didn't ask for no type of monetary value. When you bought Astrobot's Playroom, they didn't ask for any monetary value. It was pre-downloaded and you could just enjoy the game and see the features of the system. They not hurting for money, I don't think, like that. So I don't know what's going on. They acting like they Microsoft or Sony right now. I don't like it personally. I hope it fails. And
I hope it fails too, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I need that shit to flop. No one should go out and buy that.
Yeah,
shit,
I was watching the Nintendo Treehouse joint about it, and I couldn't believe my eyes when I seen like they was charging money for this shit. I was like, what the fuck?
It's a welcome tour, bro. They literally named it a welcome tour.
Demo shit.
Like, and it's supposed to show off what your Switch can do. Like, why not just include it to the package? Like, this doesn't hurt nobody. Like,
they showed a dude walking on a Joy-Con and try and say you gotta pay $10. Are you crazy? Are you crazy?
I really do hope it fails. I really do, and I don't hope games be failing. I hope that one fails, bro. I don't know. People should not support that. That shit is nasty. That's
no one.
Or maybe they switch their tune. Maybe they switch the tune and give that shit for free.
Yo, the only way to give some shit for free if the Switch comes out and bombs. That's like the only time Nintendo does some shit like that. Remember with the 3DS and the Ambassador program?
Zelda.
The Ambassador program, because they had to cut the price.
If you bought it day one,
they gave you a couple of free, I think, virtual console games and stuff like that. That's the only way I see Nintendo doing some goodwill shit. If the Switch launches and bombs, which I think the chances of that happening is very unlikely, to be honest, even with all the shit that's surrounding it, bro. I think that's very, very unlikely, to be honest. What else?
Is no one buying the Benji simulator?
Oh, come on, bro.
Bro, if man's at the desk doing this on the Switch,
Benji basketball.
I don't think it looked that bad, Tony. I don't think it looked that bad.
No,
it looked terrible, Jack. It looked terrible.
Watch the Nintendo Direct for that shit, dog. The niggas that was demoing the game don't even know how to play that motherfucker. They was trash, bro. I swear to God, that game looks so bad. I couldn't believe Nintendo was putting that shit on Front Street like that. It looks terrible. It
need more colors. It's a little bit too drab for my liking. It's all gray and shit.
That's
and then
true.
The mechanics, I mean, I don't know. They gotta add some more mechanics. What you just rolling it like a mouse and then shooting the shit.
That mouse shit looks trash to me. See, look, I understand and this was my question prior to the reveal of the Switch 2. This was my question. I'm like, yo, Nintendo kind of always has some sort of gimmick when they're launching a console. So what's gonna be the gimmick this time around with the Switch 2? You know what I mean? Like, what could they possibly do? You know, they can't really do the whole I'm docking it, undocking it when they're marketing it anymore. And now we know the gimmick is the fucking mouse. And I don't know. I don't think I'm quite sold on. I think this is a feature that's gonna be underutilized. I think it's gonna be a feature that's pretty much dead. That's what I personally think. I don't think it's gonna be.
So I think it'll be greatly utilized with Metroid Prime 4. I do think it's gonna be utilized a lot with that.
So
I actually plan on playing it that way.
Yo, you know how thin a Joy-Con is? That looks really uncomfortable to use as a mouse.
I mean, if it ends up being uncomfortable, then yeah, you got a point. But I think from a just a theoretical perspective, that should probably be dope.
Don't you think
you're You're telling me you're gonna put that shit on your table and you're gonna tabletop that and play Metroid on that? That's gonna be a nasty experience,
bro. We play at desk. We play at desk.
On your desk.
But a normal person is not playing next to a desk. I don't feel like, or a hard surface like that.
So and that's a great point. But they said you can put that shit on your knees.
Oh, that's nasty. That's nasty. Come on, that's nasty.
If it works, it works.
I'm watching the treehouse. There's like, if you don't have like a tabletop to like, you can put it on your knees. Just take the knee pads you got on for sucking the
That's gross. That's gross. All right. All right. So let's get into some of the minute details, which has been kicking off a lot of conversation when it comes to this whole Nintendo Switch 2. All right. I want to start here. I prior to this, J-Man, I came on the podcast and I said, you already know how I felt about the original Switch's UI and stuff like that, bro. You know what I mean? I wanted Nintendo to improve in that aspect because I feel like, okay, the Switch as a device is a great device for what it does, right? But what it lacks is great social features. So how do you make a good iteration of the original Switch? By kind of packing it with features, right? So my stupid ass thought that Nintendo was actually going to do something creative in the features, and I will give them a little bit of credit for at least having some form of game chat on the hardware itself. Now you don't need to go on the cell phone, but that's some form of game chat. Welcome to 2006 Nintendo, okay? So I give you a little credit for at least including that. We still don't even know we can send a message, by the way, on the hardware itself. So if it doesn't have that, I'm going to be super tight. We don't even know. But after the Direct and all the news started coming out, we saw that essentially the Nintendo Switch pulled the fucking Xbox, bro. They literally copied and pasted the UI outside of two different icons, bro. It has the exact same UI, bro. And that shit hurt my feelings. I don't know about you, how you guys feel. I personally, when I bring a new console home, I want it to be new from the ground up. I want the UI to be a new experience.
Controllers,
the controller to be new.
System.
I want everything to be new. I don't want to bring nothing home and it's the same experience. How do you feel about that, Jack? Because I know some people actually have a difference in opinion in that. Some people don't mind coming home and you buy the whole new console, you got the excitement, you pop it in, and you got the same dashboard that you've been using for the last 10 years. How do you feel about that?
If you would have asked me this 5 years ago, I would have said 100% Kofi. You right on the money. No debates, right?
What's up?
Since I've been using the PS5 UI, I would literally I would sell my soul to fucking Ares if I could get the PS3 or PS4 UI back, bro.
You lied, Jack. You lied. I don't believe you. You do not want the PS3 UI back. You lying, Jack.
Shit.
The PS.
It'll be way faster.
The PS UI fast? Are you cap? Yo, the PS. Yo,
I'm saying it will be
PS3.
No, I'm saying if the PS3 UI was running on the PS5, it would be it'd be way. You know what I mean? Wouldn't have limitations.
I see what you mean.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm definitely taking the XMB, the PS, bro. Anything over. I hate the PS5 UI, and I complained about it before it came out. You're doom and gloom. You're being an idiot. That shit is trash, bro. That shit sucks.
I'm gonna disagree, the outside of the PlayStation community complaining that it doesn't have themes, which it wouldn't make sense to have themes because every icon is a theme. Like,
yeah, that's stupid. That's stupid.
How I don't understand why the PS UI gets so much hate, bro. I feel like I actually feel like this is the best UI out of the big three right now.
It's convoluted. It's convoluted.
Have you used the Xbox? Have you used the Xbox, Jack?
No, I haven't used the Xbox. Bro.
Go use the Xbox and come back. I bet you have so much praise and high praise for the PS5 UI after using the Xbox series.
I see they got all them big ass blocks and them ads and shit. That shit look crazy. Go rent or go buy and do a little trade in. You know what I mean? The hard day switcheroo. Go do one of those on Xbox real quick. You know what I mean? And go use that UI for a week. You'll come back with a whole different perspective of is that bad?
The PS5 UI. I promise you. Damn. I promise you. It's the best UI on the market right now.
I don't have any major issues with the PS5 UI, but it is probably my least favorite from PS3 through PS5. I think it is probably my least favorite. But I don't have I'm not I want the old shit back, but the XMB is, to me, that shit is classic. I don't think it.
I think that's nostalgia for you. I feel like the XMB.
Nah,
I think nostalgia. The XMB is. I don't know, man.
What?
The XMB was fire, bro. What are you talking about?
Because you know what? What too? XMB also had had game art too. When you went over to the game icons.
Yeah. It did. I did
like
that.
It
had music and shit.
It played music.
It'll play a
I did
preview
like
in that
that
little box too. It'll play a little preview in the box.
Yeah,
too.
I did like that. I did like that.
Shit was fire, dog.
I did like that. I did like that. Don't get it twisted. I did like that. But I don't know if I want to go back. I just have horror memories with the PS3, especially the PlayStation Store too. Holy shit!
Oh god,
and game installs.
I do like how with
bro,
PS5 it's all integrated. Bro. Like the store is integrated into the UI and shit. Like everything is smooth. It runs fast. You could do a little bit of customization with it, but some of it.
And it got the best DVR in the market right now. Console DVR, the PlayStation got the best. That's just a fact.
I wish I could share my gameplay clips on social media.
I know, I missed that, bro. I can't even lie, bro. I missed that shit, bro.
Shout out to Elon.
Bro. All right, so yeah, I was really disappointed about the Switch 2 having the same UI, so I was really disappointed. And Jack, me and you know what I mean? You inspired me to get started off my platinum account. You know what I mean? I give you all credit to that. You know what I mean? I call it the Jack Move account. You know what I mean? I show love, give my flowers. You know what I mean? So
appreciate
that. So shut up, Tony. So I was a little bit disappointed to see we're getting another console generation from Nintendo with no trophies.
You don't want to move. You don't want to move Zelda trophies, bro.
Come on, bro.
Tony, you know what's crazy? Tony, it's only for Zelda. I thought they were gonna do it for like more games. It's only for Zelda, bro. They don't have achievements for no other game.
But but we need a system level because. Even Super Mario Odyssey had some sort of in-game achievements, but it don't hit the same when it's not on a system level. Once again, this also goes to my issue with the Switch. If it's a lack of just social features outside of the games, like we know you got the games, but now where's some of the other cool shit that you could do with a console? They don't have none, bro.
And that's interesting too because they definitely was promoting the social aspect of it, like the online social with all that chat room stuff and being able to be in the chat call with the other players' gameplay at 10 frames per second that you can see on the screen and shit like that. So that's interesting if it's not going to be a social feature or system.
The whole situation was crazy because one, it looked like shit. It was running bad, right?
Yeah, that should look crazy.
And then it's only free for like, what was it, 6 months or a year?
Yeah, they're charging it. You need to uninstall online to use it.
And then there's a button on the console for it. So if you ain't paying,
you can't use it. You can't use it.
Hey, pay to play. You ain't playing.
It's on the system. But this feature, that's trash.
Listen. The feature itself, the whole Discord little kind of thing, because clearly that's where they got the inspiration from, right?
I thought it was
share screen.
This shit is cool, but it's how it runs is what I think we're gonna run into the issue. Because if they're showcasing it, they're showcasing it at its best, and how we saw the shit running, like us streaming other people's games,
right?
That shit was bad. Because why would they showcase it? They're obviously gonna showcase it at its best it can do. They're not gonna showcase it at its worst. So if that's its best, that looks a little shaky. I ain't gonna lie, bro. That shit look a little shaky, bro. I don't think it's a feature that's gonna be utilized much, but you know what? I'm not gonna complain.
I just don't understand it though, like a little bit, because like even with Discord, like if somebody's sharing the screen, it's usually just everybody watching that one person, right?
Yes.
It's not like four different people sharing the screen. Can that be a thing?
You can do that. You can do that. You can do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't get that. Like I don't understand like the whole like sharing the screen and then everybody like watching it, but then it's like 4 different screens at once. Like that's kind of crazy. Like if I'm playing the game with y'all and then y'all all sharing the screen at the same time, like how am I playing the game and watching y'all screen at the same time?
That's not really. I feel like you would do that if you're playing something different. I don't feel like that was.
Nigga, me gonna use it just so I can throw the blue shell of Kofi. Yes, sir.
I want to shut up, bro.
You want to see his reaction?
You know what I'm curious too, and I don't think they showcased it, but you see how it has like the icons at the bottom of the screen. I hope that's not like a permanent thing. I hope like you can still make it a full screen, and people talking in the background. You know what? I would assume. You understand what I'm trying to say? Can you imagine if Nintendo did this, but the players that you're talking with are always on the screen? I can see them doing some dumb shit like that, but not. You know what I'm trying to say?
Play it in the background. You gotta be able to play it in the background.
I hope so. Like they didn't really dive deep into stuff like that. I would have loved to know, like once again, the system had onboard messaging. I feel like I would use messaging more then honestly that thing, because now we got Discord now, you know, in big 2025. Yeah, everyone's in
How you
Discord.
gonna link? How you gonna link with people if you don't know if they want to get on or not? You gotta have some type of way to contact them, right? Like
That's
how
what
y'all
I'm saying.
gonna
Like,
set
you
the
got
shit
some
up?
messaging. So I don't know. I just felt like those basic ass features that the PS Vita even has, and they have done even better in the past. I was just hoping that, you know, they would have them on the Switch too. So I guess it's yet to be seen. All right, so let's talk about the console's price itself. Is anyone here mad that the console costs what it costs, $450 American?
No.
Nah,
I'm not mad
I'm
at
not
it
mad
either.
at that price.
I'm not mad at that price.
The console price, I think, is fine.
I think it's fine. I think that's a pill. I think that's a pill that everyone was ready to swallow. Personally, I think we kind of all expected that it had a chance of costing more than the original Switch. I know everyone was holding hope for that.
I was thinking $399.
Yeah, I know people are hoping hope, but I felt like I said it on the podcast prior to this. Like, I did think it was going to be a little bit more expensive. So I wasn't really shell shocked about the price, and I knew the price was going to be a little bit higher as soon as I watched the direct and they didn't talk about the price. So I already in my mind thought, okay,
that was weird.
Because if it was $399, that's something that you keep in the direct to make people happy. You understand? If it's $399, you show that, and everyone cheers while watching and live streaming. Holy shit, right? So the fact that they didn't have it in the direct led me to think, okay, it's gonna be on the higher price side. So it turned out to be $450 for the console itself and $499 for the Mario Kart bundle. Okay, so none of us here are mad at that price. All right, cool. No. All right, so let's talk about the game prices. Let's get into it. Let's talk about the game prices. So after the event, you know what I mean? I think what really shocked mans was when they started announcing how much some of these games are going to cost. So initially, I think what was spreading was that there was going to be two price points when it comes to Mario Kart, when it comes to a digital price point and a physical price point. But I think it's since been debunked and it's not true, right? But initially,
partially.
Yeah, initially, I think people were reporting, like Insider Gamer and all that sort of shit, were reporting that physical copies of Switch games will cost more than the digital copy, like $10 more. And Nintendo already raised the price of Mario Kart to $79.99, and that shocked a lot of people. You know what I mean? A lot of people were shocked, and rightfully so. You know, I'm not here to come say I want pay more for games. That's not my messaging at all. I want to pay as little as much. Like, if you know, shit. Once again, if games were like $20, shit, I'll be happy as fuck. You know what I mean? I could buy more. You know what I mean? So no one's here to defend $80 games. No one's here is gonna be defending that. But that price shocked a lot of people. I do want to hear from y'all, Jack, when you initially seen that, you know, Mario Kart was gonna cost $80 for digital and physical. Like, what were your thoughts? Were you shocked?
Yeah, I was. I was like, whoa, like they getting started early because I mean, and then I had a second. I'm like, maybe I should appreciate these 80 games before GTA 6 come out because I know they finna put the they finna swing that $100 band hammer. So we might not even have $80 game, but it's troubling. It is troubling to see how quick game prices are rising after staying at the same price for so long. But
and for y'all,
$69.99,
just to put it out there, because I know we're all from different regions and current currencies be different. But a standard game in America costs $69.99, right?
Yeah, standard.
So that's that's the new price increase, right? That was ushered into this generation with the PS5 Series X, right? $69.99, right?
Yes.
Before it was $59.
And that's what I thought Nintendo was going to jump to across the board was the $70. That was shocking to see them jump from a $60 to a $80 because it wasn't even like they introduced $70 last gen, but it was only like for one game. I think
it was Tears of the Kingdom.
No,
it was only Tears of the Kingdom. That was the only one.
I think it was like Tears of the Kingdom. Yeah, so I was thinking, okay, next generation, I'm expecting it to be $70 across the board. For all of their games. And by that point, we're used to paying $70 with the PlayStation and Xbox, even PC games sometimes. Well, you can get them at a discounted rate, but if you're buying them straight from Steam, sometimes it'd be $70. So yeah, that was the, and then it's like, damn, like $80.
Tears the Kingdom is 80 as well. It's Breath of the Wild. That's 70.
Yeah. We're gonna get to that, Tony. We're gonna get to like the other shit, but let's stick with the Mario Kart because that was like the most expensive joint for now. Yeah. So I kind of want to stay with the Mario Kart. The Mario Kart joint came out It costs $80. So Jack, you said you were shocked. Tony, you were surprised at that price point too, right? Because how much does it cost
Absolutely,
in UK? How much does it cost compared to like
it's
a regular game?
It's
cost?
70 as well. It's 70 as well. It's 70
okay.
As
How much a regular game in the UK?
well, 65 or 70 typically.
Okay.
It depends. It depends.
Okay. All right, so we all were pretty shocked. When I saw that, I was shocked too. And then when I heard physical, because you guys already know I like buying physical games, especially for Nintendo and stuff like that. So when I heard the physical was gonna cost more, that was the initial rumor. It was gonna be like $90 American. You gotta imagine for me, who's Canadian, that's gonna be $20 more. So that's gonna cost like $110 for a single fucking video game. So I'm not happy about that at all. You know what I mean? I'm not happy about that at all.
One of the greatest days on the timeline for me.
Yeah,
seeing y'all physical boys and fucking the physical panic, yo. That shit was funny as hell, yo.
But Jack, and I know I got issues, so we're gonna talk about it. So Jack, then after the news and all that shit came through, Jack, you know what I mean? The news came through. We're all mad. We had time to sit with it for a couple of hours. Like fuck. I went back, caught the trailer again, Jack, of Mario Kart Worlds. You know, I went back and I rewatched that shit. Then I'm like, fuck, I'm buying this for $120 if I have to, bro. That's what I said to myself, Jack. I'm part of the. I'm part of the issue. Bro.
They got you.
They got me. They got you. And this is not hearing me defend it.
They knew what game to do.
Not even nice.
They knew what. They knew. I'm a god.
That's true.
I'm a god of Mario Kart. I'm a god, bro. That's what I'm saying. Like
what game.
They could have done this with other shit. I would have been like, right, yo. But I always fucking say this. It's easy to protest some shit you give no fucks about. We got mans waiting to. I'm protesting. This, that for a game they do not give a fuck about. But you know, and I feel so good because my boy Barry just kind of proved my point.
Jay Barry going.
My boy Jay Bar. Shout out to my boy Jay Bar. He kind of just proved my point in all of this when it comes to us enthusiasts and us gamers. And we're all the same. And this is not me throwing shots at him because I'm the same way. My black ass bought 2 Ultimate Editions of Spark and Zero. I bought one for PC, one for PlayStation, and I bought a physical copy. Yeah, that's the Ultimate joints. I bought 2 Ultimates and a physical copy, bro. I probably spent like almost $400 on that fucking game alone. You know what I mean? So you know what I mean? And I really thought to myself, I'm like, that's why, because I know myself, J-Main. That's one thing I ain't gonna do. When I was mad about that price point, J-Main, I wasn't doing too much. That's the difference between me and some other folks. I wasn't doing too much because I already knew my black ass was gonna be day one, and I'm buying that shit. So I wasn't doing too much talking. I was mad, but I'm like, shit, they might have got me this one because this shit look incredible.
Let Rockstar announce GTA 6 for $100. You gonna get a retweet and that's it. I ain't saying nothing else, nigga. Just a retweet and I'm going. I see you on the podcast.
And I mean, I made my tweet, and I made a tweet right that went a little viral, it went a little crazy. You know what I mean? That I'm like. And this is not me defending the $80 games, but me is kind of pointing the mirror back to us enthusiasts that spend much more. Yeah, us enthusiasts that low key spend more than $80 on the game on a lot of releases.
It's
not that I'm not saying the 80 is good, but when we look at it low key, we be spending more. A lot of us. When it comes to the games that we love, we be going the extra mile and paying the top dollar. It's a reason why we go on PSN, Xbox Live, Steam, and some of the top sellers, Jack, am I lying about this, are the Ultimate Edition of the games, the Digital Deluxe Edition of the games, some of it 4-day early access. And the only difference between that... it's not just us. That's the casual. That's also the casuals,
that's the casual market too. That's
what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It's not even just the hardcore, but I'm just saying we indulge that since I'm just speaking on this community. But you're right. If it's on the top seller, that means it's more than just the hardcore buying that too. It's also the casual audience.
Especially
let
with
a 2K drop. Yo, Jack.
Right.
Let a 2K drop or the latest Call of Duty. What do you see at the top? It's always the highest edition at the top.
Yeah, no, that's
low
true.
Key,
that's true.
So and I guess the damage control that people are saying, nah, Kofi, that's different though. You know what I mean? That's different. They were given extra value, or extra content. And what I have to say to those people is that, yo, bro, this is shit that we used to be getting in the games that they stripped out and reselling it to you so they could tax you at a higher price. Jack, you buy Death Stranding, the Digital Deluxe Edition. You know what they give you? Some exoskeleton suits, but the gold color, bro. The gold color, bro. You know what I mean? Back in the day, you could play a game, you could get unlocked, you do all the time trials, you do this. Guess what? They give you the gold skin for playing the game. But now they have legit stripped that shit out, and added the fee to the digital deluxe, and we all fucking indulge and buy it when it's the game that we fucking love. So I'm just putting it out there. I'm just putting it out there.
There's layers to this.
I'm just putting it out there real quick.
It's an option though, so you don't have to buy that version. You can be like, I don't like it that much. I'm gonna just get the base version for the low. You don't have to buy the deluxe everything, and
that's the
so it's the fact that taking away the option that I have to pay this much.
You're absolutely correct that you have a choice in the sense of we stripped out this content for you to buy it on this tier, but you still could buy it with the less tier, right? So you're absolutely right that it is a choice. But I'm just talking about the gamer habits and their patterns that I see. Once again, shout out my boy Jabari. The Last of Us launched on, and this is not a shot because I indulge in the same shit, so this is not even a shot. The Last of Us launched on the PS3, Jack. They dropped The Last of Us there, $59.99, right? PS4, they dropped the remastered, $59.99, right? PS5, they dropped Part 1, the remake. Let's look with the PS4. PS4, they dropped Part 2, the regular one. PS5, they dropped Part 1 remake, whatever the new price point, whatever they put it at.
Yeah,
right?
$70. That was
$70. They dropped Part 2 remastered, right? They both dropped collectors at $70. Now they're dropping the Last of Us
if you
complete,
upgrade it,
right? So I just feel a way personally, and you can see if I'm off. Do you think the consumer who cops all of that can judge the dude that buys the $80 game? That's just my question to y'all. If y'all say they can't judge, then I'm gonna shut the fuck up.
No.
That consumer that buys all of that can judge the guy who's down to spend $80 on a Mario Kart.
The reason I say no is because
I don't know. Sorry, go ahead.
Because you on average you spending more than what you complain about. You can't complain about somebody spending less money than you. That's stupid. You know what I mean? Like on average you spending more per game. So no, you cannot complain about that.
Yeah. Okay, that's how I feel like when I see that's how I personally feel like we're inspired the rant, the little rant, when I see certain people in the community that I know what we do. I'm part of it. I know what I do that shit too. What we spend on the games that we fucking want to play. We might buy it. Fuck it, I want to play this early. I'm playing 120. So maybe that gamer, look, how we perceive value is different. So that's why at the end of my tweet I said, vote for your wallet. If you feel like it's something not worth it, don't buy it. I think that's the best you can do. When it's not worth it, don't buy it.
So Nintendo is trying to basically justify the pricing of Mario Kart World being $80 by saying, variable pricing. They feel like certain games that they, maybe put more development time and cost into should be priced accordingly.
I think that's a load of shit. That's what I think, J-Main. I think that's a load of shit.
That's another thing.
I think that's a load of shit.
Thing as well. Why people are upset, niggas is like, it's the Nintendo games. Like, look at the games. It's the same game. Yeah. The budget ain't crazy.
Yeah,
and your taxing is like this.
But that's gamer enthusiasm. Because we're the only group of gamers that sit here and think how much it costs to make that game. Who else in the fucking world who's enjoying video games really be thinking that besides us? You understand what I'm saying? No one. That's the common person is not thinking about game budget. The ones who are tuning into a podcast and we're on the podcast are talking about, a game budget. This game costs this to make. Why does it cost this, right? No regular person is really thinking about it like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You understand?
I think the visuals as well. I think the visuals go into it as well.
When it comes to this, what you just mentioned, and when they had to justify the price, I think it's bullshit, Jamie. I think I don't agree with that at all. I think that's bullshit. I think this is a Rockstar kind of the same conversation we were having when it came to GTA. That it's a game that it's so anticipated, it's so sought out for. It might be the world's most anticipated video game of all time, GTA 6. That we within ourselves know that's why these conversations were happening even prior to all of this. That how much is GTA gonna cost? People were asking that question before the Switch reveal. How much is GTA gonna cost? We're hearing, us as enthusiasts are hearing gamers, the game development costs $2 billion, something fucking ridiculous. So we're all thinking to ourselves and let's not cap. A lot of us, when we're having those discussions about Grand Theft Auto 6, if this game costs $100, Jack, what were people saying about if Grand Theft Auto 6 ends up costing more than $100 or it costs $100? What were people saying on the timeline? They said we're gonna buy it. Niggas said we're gonna buy it, and I don't fault anyone who says that because nigga, I'm gonna buy it too. I'm gonna be right there, bro. If that shit costs $120, I'm sorry. I think I'm gonna cough it up. If I'm a bad guy for it, I'm sorry. It's my money, bro. Sorry to bring back the phrase. It's my money, bro. I'm coughing that shit, bro.
Nintendo fucked around and got wind of that and thought they could do that same shit. Like, ain't nobody say shit about Nintendo games. Yeah. Relax.
But the funny thing is, we're not thinking
up GTA though. I think it's because they know this is the most expensive game ever. It's taken this long. We don't get one often. They think it's gonna be some new shit.
That sounds like cope to me, though. Game. But no, but we're standing by. If we're standing, that sounds like cope. If we're standing by business and we're just standing on business as gamers, and no, you should be priced to point as every other AAA game. Why you specifically?
I feel like
why you specifically get to make your shit?
I think it's a value thing.
I guess we're gonna see Mario Kart World. People think it's worth it then, Jack. Right? I guess we're all gonna witness and see people think Mario Kart is worth it then.
We'll have to see the next game because it's gonna be bundled in, so it's gonna have all those extra sales.
This game is gonna sell. This game is gonna sell.
Bro, it's gonna sell. I don't think we're only gonna attribute the sales to bundles. Niggas are gonna be buying the regular copy.
Who's not buying the bundle? Who's not buying the bundle?
Bro, people are buying it. Bro, I saw a man put up his pre-order and he didn't have the bundle, bro. He had a separate physical copy of that joint, bro.
Sold out. Maybe he not buying Mario Kart.
No, you had a separate. You had the physical. You bought the physical. So I'm just saying, like, yo, we can't make excuses for one and not the other. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm saying. Vote with your wallet.
No, I think we can. In terms of like what GTA is offering versus a Mario Kart. Come on, dog. Like
everyone perceives value different, J-Main. Everyone perceives value different. What's valuable to me, what I think I would pay that is not going to be to the next person, though. No.
But I think as enthusiasts, we know what we're looking at and what's like. You know, how much effort and money and time is spent into attention to detail and shit like that into a game like fucking GTA. Just look at Red Dead. Like, just imagine that times 10. Like, it's going to be something that you play and you look at. It's going to have like almost an infinite amount of content and ways to go back and beat the shit a different way.
I 100% agree. I have no doubt that Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to be a top-tier video game when it releases. Plus, it's probably going to have a whole bunch of online content where they're going to sell you shark cards and they're going to make a shit ton of money. I already know that game is going to go crazy, right? I think at this point, we know GTA is going to be a fantastic game. So the thing with the Mario Kart price point, Nintendo pricing it up, I think they just know that we've built this franchise to a point where I'm not gonna say it's GT. What shit? It sold 67 million fucking copies, right? If some of them bundles are not, it sold a lot of fucking copies.
Yeah,
right? If your game sells 67,
level, it's close.
Let's put this in perspective. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe has sold more. There's more copies of out there than The Last of Us out there as a franchise across the PS3 to the PS5. Let's put that in perspective. Right. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe has more copies sold than all of Uncharted, the entire franchise of existence. So clearly they know that there's some sort of demand for this game. I think it's safe to assume, no? So I think Doug Bowser and his commentary about this perceived value and that, I think is a crock of shit. Personally, I think it's a crock of shit. I think it's
definitely a crock of shit because they're not going to charge less for digital games.
Yeah,
even though it costs less to make.
Exactly. I think they know they can do it. They know they could sell the game for that price and people will buy it. They will buy it.
I got a question. About this. Do you all think that this is going to usher in other companies this generation to make their games $80? Because I think it is.
Yes, I absolutely think it is.
Usher, you know what's funny enough? How we say that? I think this was a conversation. If not Nintendo was gonna do it, I don't think it was a conversation around. Jack, I know you will recall. Remember that there was that one article saying that Sony was talking about selling like higher price games. I know you remember.
Yeah, that was in the
Insomniac. So I know these are probably in ongoing conversations in the industries, right? It's just who's gonna jump out the window and do that type of shit first. So now that this has happened, once again, man. I think we will get to a point where the companies that think they could pull it off, they're gonna attempt to try and do it. But the thing is, not every game will probably fly off the shelf at that price point. You know, once again, I made the point that a lot of gamers low-key be spending over $100 on games. So low-key, maybe the next Call of Duty, I think if that got a $10 increase, I still think it will be a successful franchise. I think that if 2K did that shit, low-key, I think it'd still go crazy. I think FIFA would still go crazy.
A majority of these games still gonna sell. Because like you said,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And the funny thing, Jack, and the funny thing, Jack, especially the games that I just mentioned, you know how much money the people who actually play those games actually spend on those games even after launch, like a 2K versus the virtual coins and the EA. You know how much money, you know how much more money they spend on those games? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I think
honestly, what I was thinking about too? What games are gonna hurt more is the games that people are a little bit iffy about. Because like before, if you had like, say for instance, $60 games, you can get 3 $60 games. Say for instance, $180. But now if you're looking at 3 $80 games, you're up to what, $240? So now you can look like, all right, so now I got to make a decision. What games do I really want more?
Yeah.
Say for instance, the 3 games are Mario Kart 8, Worlds, GTA 6, and fucking Wolverine. We already know out of those 3, Mario Kart and probably GTA is going to get picked out of the people that said, nah, I can't afford all 3. I need to only pick 2. Yeah. So some games are actually going to get hurt now that like, because certain games are going to get bought, but then there's going to be games that are going to be like, all right, I can't afford that right now. I'm going to get that a little bit later.
Or if these companies are adapting this quote unquote model of on a price and on perceived value, maybe this is an opportunity for some games to sell at a cheaper price so they can actually get attention. Do you think we'll see some sort of dynamic?
Will never happen.
You don't think we'll ever see some? Because sometimes some scenarios we do see that, right? Because look at, once again, there's some titles that have released on PlayStation but wasn't at the full regular price, right? Because clearly, why didn't they price the Astrobot at the conventional price point?
They just gave it away for free. They just gave it away for free. I think that's what they did.
PlayStation greedy, but I don't know if they fully fucking stupid. Like, but they knew nobody wants to really play this game. Like, they knew this shit. They were just throwing something out there. Like, but
Astrobot?
Yeah, no, not I'm talking about. Well, yeah, that's like, bro, that was a new IP kind of though. Like, they didn't have they gave all the other games away for free. So it's like,
so that's my point. That's my point. How about, you don't think we see more games like that? Expedition 33. Where they're launching at a conventional price point, like it's a possibility that the studios don't have that kind of pedigree or that kind of IPs that are that massive, choose not to actually price their games like that because they know they're gonna price people out and they're not gonna buy it. The ones that don't have that kind of notoriety. What do you think?
I feel like third party devs always been doing it though. I'm speaking more from like a first party standpoint because even though it's shit like Astrobot, but Xbox, PlayStation, they don't view these games as they perceive value as always, nigga, give us the maximum money that we can put on this motherfucker. Like, that's their perceived value, right? So it's like, if they could charge you 80 for Astrobot, they're going to charge you 80 for Astrobot. Like,
because even at the point, I'm not saying the Astrobot sales are bad, because I don't think it's bad, because obviously what it's spent to make that game versus what it did is probably good, and they're probably really happy with that. But even the PlayStation demographic for Astrobot to go on and sell like 1 million and something, it's probably more by now. Like, imagine if that game was priced at the standardized pricing. I don't think it does as well, right? So maybe I don't know if this opens the door after the market reacts, right? Because the market, us consumers are gonna react. The games that are gonna be able to be sold at that price are probably gonna be sold. The ones that are really sought after, and the games that are bad might fall under. You know, they might fall short. And
they charge $40 for Concord. So that ain't a company I'm looking to make any type of wise decisions as far as pricing.
But I think that leads into I feel like that leads. Yeah, you're right. You're right about that. It should have been a free to play model. But I feel that kind of leads into my point. Clearly, there's some sort of confidence level with some of these games, right? There's a confidence level that, we think these, like Helldivers is another perfect example, right? They chose to sell that at a $39.99 price point instead of a higher price point because obviously the dynamics behind it. It's a multiplayer game. Typically, the multiplayer market is free to plays, and no, we can't get away with selling this at $70.
Yeah, that was a niche game at one point.
Right? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, do you think? So you don't think there's a?
So you think Helldivers 3 would be fucking $80?
Helldivers 3 definitely. No,
I think that's a huge mistake if they were to do some shit like that, bro. I say do what works. Yeah. Personally, that's my opinion. I would do what works. Like what worked for me last time, I'll do what worked this time. Because Helldivers is supposed to be a games as a service where you spend money in the game. So taking $80 from the consumer up in front doesn't even make sense to me personally.
That means games should still be $49.99 if they would go do what works. I mean, shit. Why they raise the price to begin with?
No, but I think that's wrong though. I think low key. I think if we go back and we look at the data, I think probably more games are probably being sold than ever before. Probably, I wouldn't be surprised.
It's more gamers though. Like gaming is the most popular it's ever
big,
been.
It's big.
Now. It's mainstream now. It's mainstream. It's not a niche nerds. You know what I mean? Like, people don't make fun of you for gaming no more, unless you that buff nigga on Twitter.
I just think that these companies are gonna do whatever they feel that they can get away with. Because
I think so too.
We just see like it's like games be flopping and shit all over the place, and you're not just gonna throw out $80 across the board for everything that you put out.
I don't think it will work. I don't think
motherfuckers ain't buying that shit at that price. So I think we do get a more variable pricing going forward.
But that raises the floor though. Like, okay, so they might not be full price, but they still gonna be like $70. Because at first, you know, the regular price is 70. So if they raise the price, it might only be what, $50, $40 game. Now, it's gonna be. I think somebody said this on a little stream you did, Kofi. Now the floor of the prices is raising. So 70 is gonna be viewed as a deal. Like, that's not no deal. And
you're right, because I looked at Donkey Kong the same way. I'm looking at Donkey Kong Bonanza, and I'm like, okay, I expected it to be 70.
There you go.
And then you're looking at the $80 game. I was like, okay, that's not too bad because this is 70. That's 80.
Exactly. But you know what's interesting just about us gamers? Like, okay, so the $80 game. So we always do complaining, right? And stuff on and talking about shit. So I guess I always want to pose a game. Like, we always address a problem, but where's like what kind of solution is there for us, quote unquote, to do as a community, right? So what's the stand? We see something we don't like, because I'm starting to notice a trend, right? Because once again, Jack, you remember that reveal of that PS4? Holy, we were on a high horse. They were smacking Xbox around. We were high as fuck. PlayStation snuck in there. Yo, by the way, you're paying online for games. Everyone's still like this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We didn't give a fuck. We didn't give a fuck.
Facts.
PS5 came out. I think the next 2K got announced that it was gonna be. I think 2K was the first publisher to use the new price point. Guess what? People were mad on Twitter just like this. Yeah, people were mad on Twitter just like this. Am I lying? People weren't upset.
No, it was just like this on Twitter. We're mad just like this. It was some outrage.
Some outrage. I'm outraged about. But guess what? It became the new standard. So how do we avoid from this one?
2K did numbers. It did numbers.
Yeah. So I guess my question is, right, as a community, the gaming community, how do we take this stand, or this a kind of a late like how do we take
it's over, bro? It's over, bro.
It's over, right? Like that's what I'm trying to say. Like, how do we fix this?
The thing with console stances, it's hard to take a stance with consoles because you have the enthusiasts and then you have the casuals.
Yep.
And they wail.
The casuals,
they spend money.
If they don't give a fuck, for the most part, they don't give a fuck. So if they are out buying $80 games in droves, us enthusiasts ain't gonna really make a difference if we stop buying them. They're gonna be like, oh, the shit still sold amazing. So they're not gonna really give a fuck.
They're not gonna give exactly.
The communication, like on say versus the PC market, where a lot of PC guys are chronically online, they in forums, they downvoting games. Like a lot of that shit, they can be a community and be on the same page. What I'm supposed to do? Go to a GameStop and protest $80 games out with a fucking picket sign? Like, yo, y'all shouldn't be in here. But I think look fucking crazy. You get the fuck out of my way so I can buy little Timmy this $80 Mario Kart so he can shut the fuck up. Like, get the fuck out of my face.
Look, Jay, man, you gonna feel silly, right? You can be like, yeah, I'm never supporting an $80 game. IG ain't gonna come up. Mario Kart just sold another 5 million. I'm the only person not playing this motherfucker.
That's what I'm saying. Like, yo, like I'll be so tight. Like, I'm like, yo, we taking a stand. We not buying this game. This game go outside of 50 million copies. I'm the goofy nigga not enjoying the game, bro. I'm the goofy not just enjoying this game.
It's gonna be the SpongeBob meme with Squidward in the house looking down on Patrick and SpongeBob running out. Everybody gonna he's gonna be sitting there mad because you stood on business. Like it's a slippery slope, bro. With this game.
That's why, like, I don't know. I voiced my opinion on social media, but at the end of the day, I'm gonna do what the fuck I want to do. I might have displeasure of a game being $80. Like, damn, that's kind of crazy game. Now I might be more like selective on what games I buy.
I think that's the best you can do.
But at the end of the day, if it's something that I want to play, I'm gonna buy it. That's just what it is.
Honestly,
unless you're really taking a stand, and it's really no like.
I think that's the best. Honestly, J-Man, that's the best you can do. That's the best you can honestly do.
J-Man, I've been boycotting all these Sony remasters for the PS5. Guess what they did? They announced another one. You talking about Last of Us Part 2 remaster? Nigga, we just gonna release it again. Like, what the fuck is going on?
Yo, so Jack, you're
motherfuckers.
Yo, so
Jack, you don't want either one of these. We're gonna put them shits in the bundle and sell it again.
Yo, so I just forgot, yo, Jack, you were protesting Part 1 and remastered, saying you're not confident.
Both of them shits.
And they still did it. You're protesting me shit. Might as well enjoy that remaster part 1, Jack. Might as well enjoy that. Go ahead and play that, bro. That shit was fire.
I played part 1. I ain't get part 2.
That's the thing, bro. I just want to have a real conversation because a lot of the times we come on the internet, and I'm not saying we shouldn't be mad about this or upset. No one should be happy about paying more. But I think we should have a kind of a realistic discourse of like, yo, what you really gonna do about it? I think as a consumer, the best you can do is just vote with your wallet. The games that you don't see that's worth it, just don't buy it. You know what I mean? And the games that's worth it to you, buy it. That's the best. I think this just makes more selective, more conscious and selective consumers. If the games become more expensive, you just can't go and buy anything. You're just gonna be more selective on what you can buy. I'm gonna buy this one. I ain't gonna buy this one. I would have bought this one. It was cheaper. Maybe I'll wait for a sale. So that's the best you can do. And who knows? Maybe the games that are priced at that point and that don't perform the best, maybe they go on flash sale way quicker.
They go on sale.
They go away sale quicker. So now we just have to be smart consumers. That's how I kind of see it at this point. Like, because
that is
at this point they're not gonna just reverse it. They're not just going to reverse it. Certain shit, they're just not going to reverse. We have to just understand that. You know what I mean? So what you can do, I guess, the best as a consumer is to be like, yo, I'm going to buy that one because I really want that. And that shit look like I'm going to get that kind of enjoyment out of it. And I'm not going to buy this one. What about that one? But it's too expensive. And I'm not going to buy it. Like, what else can you fucking do, bro? You know what I'm saying?
Because Nintendo don't be dropping their fucking prices, too. That's going to be the interesting part. Is that Mario Kart Worlds is gonna be $80 come 2020 fucking 8 and 2030 and shit like that. So yeah. And that's why things like Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom is like 70, 80 because the base game is still $60. So if they add in the new content or whatever they're charging for the upgrades, they have to add that to the base game price. So if you're buying it brand new, it has to be $70 because the base game is either $50 or $60.
Yeah. And what's unfortunate, look, listen, and this might seem like mans are throwing a cape, but I'm really not. But I will say, for a company like Nintendo who don't do the Ultimate Edition, the Digital Deluxe, you know what I mean? Can you imagine when this shit hits like the other side of the publishers where they do the Digital Deluxe and the Ultimate Edition for the real full experience? That's gonna be
the other games business. Go on sale.
It's gonna be nasty. It's gonna be nasty.
The other games go on sale.
That's nasty business to me. Still, that's still nasty business.
I saw The Witcher 3 for $4 yesterday, bro.
The Witcher 3 is when that game came out in like 2006 or 2016 or 17.
Go look at a 2016 Nintendo game. See what that price is.
You ain't lying about that. But I will say, even though what's it called the Mario Kart joint look fire, bro. What Nintendo's doing with Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom is nasty business. I can't lie, bro. That's nasty business.
Yeah,
those games
they say
have
that
no
shit don't
price.
even come with the DLC.
DLC. That's nasty business, bro. That's nasty business. I can't lie, bro. That shit nasty business.
Mario Kart Worlds does look fire, and they still haven't showed off everything yet. That direct on the 17th, it's gonna show more of that open world stuff. See if there's like more activities going on throughout the
so I guess
free
my
roam
question,
and all of that.
I'm not excited about none of that open world shit. That's not doing.
You never, hey man, that shit look kind of hot. That knockout mode look kind of hot. I ain't gonna hold you, bro. That knockout shit.
That knockout mode is gonna be good. It's gonna be dope for game night for sure. Yeah, you gotta make it into within a certain place by the time the lap is over and stuff like that.
Yeah, that shit looks tough. That shit gonna be fire. Okay, so
bouncing off of walls.
I got a question.
On the rails.
I know this is not the scenario. This is not the scenario. I want to preface it because niggas always gonna say the niggas damage control. If there was a possibility that they said that this game was gonna have like free content, would that make you guys feel better about the $80 price point? I gotta ask that. Like free tracks in the future. I never said that's gonna be it.
Yeah.
Obviously they're gonna charge. But if they did something like that, would you guys be okay with an $80 price point at that point?
It wouldn't change whether I'm buying it or not, but it would definitely make me feel better about my purchase.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm gonna buy it regardless at that. Well, I'm getting a bundle, but like I said, I'm buying that regardless at the price that they set it at. But if they say, all right, all future content is free, it makes it even better.
It makes it better. All right, cool. I just wanted to ask that. We got a super chat donation from Steve Killer 952. Shout out to you. I do appreciate the $5 super chat. He says, I think we're going to see a lot of studios closing thinking they could sell an $80 game. That's what I'm saying. Like, right. Some people definitely get away with it. I think the FIFAs, I think the 2Ks could get away with it. I think Call of Duty could get away with it. I think low-key EA and Battlefield probably could get away with it.
I don't think Call of Duty.
I absolutely think Call
of
Duty.
You crazy as hell.
You crazy as shit. You crazy if you think Call of Duty can't sell $100 Call of Duty today.
Bro, niggas is buying $20 skins in Call of Duty.
Yeah, you bugging if you think they can't sell $100.
Call of Duty be the
games
best
today.
selling game every year when it come out. Like,
You know that is a fact. That is a fact in America. Outside of Hogwarts, and every time a Grand Theft Auto drop, it's always the best selling year for like the past 15 years. If you think
I feel like it was
$20,
quiet. I feel like it was quiet for
if
Call
you
of Duty
feel
last year.
if you feel like $20 is gonna stop the Call of Duty fan, which probably they don't probably buy much games a year anyways. The average Call of Duty player probably don't buy like they're buying like 10 games a year, like how we do. Like some of us, we buy a lot of games a year, bro. You know what I mean? I don't think they buy that much games a year. I think they'll happily pay that money. I think they'll happily pay that shit.
Yeah, I mean, looking at the top,
I think a studio like
20.
Remedy. I think a studio like Remedy can't do that shit because they should don't be selling, bro. They can't be doing that shit, bro. Yeah, so
looking at the top 20 games that was like in the US last year, I'm trying to like pinpoint what game out of this list could not get away with the $80 price point. It's not much. You think I don't know about a Tekken 8? You think a Tekken could get away with $80 price point?
No, I don't think so.
Probably not. Probably
I
not.
don't think
Probably
so.
not.
The fighting game community is not even that large itself. I think that's a bad idea if any sort of fighting game costs some sort of premium, especially if that's not the standardized pricing, but they're just upping it. I think that's a bad idea. It's personally, I think fighting games already the community is not that big for fighting games, so I think that'll be.
It's a lot of sports games, shooters, like hell.
Sports games. I think the sports game could work, like the Maddens. Once again, the Maddens, the FIFAs, the 2Ks, because once again, the people who play those daily, they spend more. They spend more. Yeah, they spend more. Once again, they buy the virtual coins. They do the ultimate players. They spend a lot of money on that shit.
Most people that buy them games yearly, they don't play shit else for real. Like that's they one game they gonna buy, and you know what I mean.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I think those games could absolutely work at that price point, and they'll do just fine. I don't think they'll miss a beat. Personally, I don't think they'll miss a beat.
They won't.
Is there anything else that needs to be discussed regarding Nintendo, the Direct, the aftermath of all of this? Oh, pre-orders. Oh my god, bro. Oh my god. How could I forget, bro?
Them pre-orders.
Tony's man, Donald Trump. Tony's man. That's Tony's
not my guy.
That's your guy, Donald Trump.
That's not my guy.
He said he would have. Yo, let me tell you something. Prior to this is facts. You'd be a damn liar if he doesn't confirm. Prior to Donald Trump getting elected, that boy Tony was like, yo, that boy Tony's like, I can't wait till Trump win. You know, I put $2,000 on Kamala Harris to win, and I lost all of that shit, right? Tony was.
I told you not to do that.
I put $2 on Kamala Harris to win. I thought America was gonna make the right choice. Clearly, I had the wrong faith in America. So whatever.
Damn.
I put money on Trump winning.
Yeah, see, so Tony was all in on Trump. That boy is gonna make crypto boom. That boy is gonna put mad money in my pockets. As soon as Trump won, that boy Tony has to stop complaining, bro. One day he's up tweeting, "Fuck you, I'm the richest nigga alive." The next day he broke. Oh man, Kofi, man, yeah. Bust out some super chat.
That's a fact.
It's been nasty ever since
the first month
tariffs,
that he was in. The first month he was in. That was the most I was up. I was
no,
good.
but you said they snaked you because he did some sort of coin with Melania Trump or some shit, and they snaked you. He said some shit,
bro. He did it in January. Everyone sold all the other coins to buy the Trump coin. Wow. And then he was what people didn't know at the time was he was scamming on the Trump coin, but so many people were buying that it covered up that it was a scam the whole time. So it's cooked. Though. He cooked it.
They covered up the whole.
The tariffs cooked yesterday when he announced 90-day pause. Mounds was good. Everyone was
the next
up.
day.
Came back down.
We're back down.
It came back down.
Yeah, it came back down.
Yeah, that shit is crazy.
It's noodles again. It's noodles again.
Yeah. I ain't gonna lie.
Crazy,
I saw a wild tweet, Jack. I don't know if you seen that tweet. Someone put a tweet with
the bullet, the angle.
One set $3.90. One set $3.99. One set $4.50, bro. I shouldn't have laughed at that, but that was fucked up. But that was a wild tweet, bro. I ain't gonna lie. One angle said $3.99. One angle said $4.50, bro. I ain't gonna lie, bro. That shit's crazy, bro. That tweet was a wild tweet, man.
One tweet I saw that was funny. They said they called him Sleepy Joe because you could sleep on your investments and be a high.
You can't sleep with this nigga. One day you up, next day you wake up, your shit is in shambles.
Trust me, my stocks has been all over, bro. The funny thing, I'm like, I've been investing even more, and I was investing on the high. I was buying this fucking S&P on the high, bro. Like, holy.
Kofi. Yo, Kofi, now I got a question for you. Because Kofi texts me, yo, everything's up. Yo, I wanted to buy more. I didn't get enough to buy more. Today, when it goes down, this nigga texts me like, fuck. Did you buy more? Did you buy more, bro? Is you buying opportunity?
Buy the dips.
No, I'm trying to buy the dip. I'm trying to buy the floor, bro. You know
bro.
what I mean? Hold that up.
When you buy the dip and it keeps dipping.
Hey, when you buy the dip and it keeps dipping, bro. That was me that week when the Tariffs was going on. I'm like, I'm buying it throughout the week. I'm like, oh shit, because I buy via V. I'm like, yo, oh shit. Typically, I was buying it around 150 because shit was good. It dipped. I'm like, you know what? I'm not even panicking because I'm holding for the long run. I'm on this, you know what I mean? I can't do this crypto trading like how Tony does it because I can't focus. I can't be in and out like how he be doing that. I be busy. So I saw that shit drop to 140. I'm like, okay, not bad. I buy it. I'm like, I'm buying the dip. I buy a couple. I see that shit dropping to 138. I'm like, oh, I'm buying more, bro. This shit keep on dipping. I'm like, yo, where's the fucking dip? I should just wait in the cop then, bro. Like, it's so shit is super annoying, bro. Super annoying. But that's neither here and there. But yeah, the pre-orders got delayed, guys. You guys already know that the pre-orders got delayed for the Nintendo.
The Canadian ones got delayed like the day before, right?
3 months ago.
Bro, I was tight because low key, I was kind of on my high horse for you Americans. I'm like, ha, Canada got it, boy. Your dumbass president fucking it up for y'all. Ha ha, type shit. And guess what? We got cooked too, bro. We got cooked literally a day before. Bro.
Welp.
Love to see it.
I don't know what's going to happen. Y'all think the price is going up?
Yo, Kofi started stealing pre-orders from the homies, bro. I know niggas that can't get Switch. This man's got his Amazon UK pre-order. I'm like, bro.
Y'all had an Amazon UK pre-order for like 5 minutes. And then they canceled my shit.
They see where you're from. They see where you from. They see where you from.
Yo, Amazon UK never used to be tripping off of that. They used to be like, yeah, we ship it to the US. Them motherfuckers saw that pre-order from the US and was like, get that shit the fuck out of here. And that shit would have came out cheaper, even with the conversion rate.
Me too.
All of that.
Low key, my shit $20 cheaper if I get
yo. Yeah, so, I'm like, what the fuck?
Little backstory for the chat if they don't know what we're talking about. Pretty much the shit got delayed. The pre-orders got delayed for America, it got delayed for Canada. So we got fucked, right? So we go and pre-order the shit. But obviously around the world, like UK, Japan, and all this, pre-orders went up, right? So when people that Amazon UK was shipping it to the United States and Canada, a lot of people's plan, including myself, was, yo, let's hop on and let's get a backup one in case shit goes south. If shit goes south and we don't get shit, at least we got this this Switch coming from the UK. If it's not day one, at least 5 days later, fuck it. At least we got this Switch coming in from the UK. But Amazon UK started canceling man's pre-order. I guess they picked up on the scheme. They started canceling man's pre-ordered. They canceled my boy Nevs. They canceled J-Man. They canceled a whole bunch of people I see on time. Like Strat. Guess who they didn't cancel? Jack? Guess who they didn't cancel? They didn't cancel my shit. My shit's still up, bro. It's arriving on the 12th. It's arriving on the 12th. They didn't cancel my shit.
Did you get yours in before everybody else?
Yeah, I think I did. I think I was early.
I feel like Strat got it in early. I don't know. His shit got canceled.
No, but y'all, I think yours is a U.S. problem. I think y'all is a U.S. problem.
Yeah, I think it is a U.S. problem. I think it is. Yeah, so once they saw it was U.S., they was like, yeah, it's muddy over there. We're not even dealing with that. Because at the end of the day,
the prices on you guys anyway.
Oh, really?
I saw that. I said, yeah. They said, yeah, expect them higher prices. I mean, get ready to learn Chinese, buddy. I saw that this morning.
Oh man, that's crazy. Yeah. The tariff shit's it's a mess. Even though,
they paused it.
They paused that shit, but
so whatever you're trying to get that shit now.
Yeah, GPUs, all of that, but this shit's a mess, man.
The China shit not paused. The China shit still.
You know,
and it's not completely paused. It's not paused either. It's 10%. It's just
you're right. It's 10%.
You're right. You know what I miss?
The reciprocal. What's up?
You know what I miss? Mm-hmm. You know what about Joe Biden is what was nice about him, even though he's Sleepy Joe and we all know he's senile. We already know that. But he wasn't always constant. You know what? I kind of appreciate a president that's not always in the news. Low key, bro. When you don't
video on my timeline every morning.
Bro, this guy's on my time, bro. I remember the first Trump administration where this boy was on the news every fucking second. Every news, Trump. I think he likes that. Like he likes that name circulating.
We just getting started.
I just remembered about the Biden shit, and I had to even ask my brother, yo, yo, it's only been like 3 months since this man's been president, bro. Yeah. I felt like we just can't escape him, bro. I kind of miss the days where
every day, every morning,
where we don't hear about the president and what they doing low key. That's a good press. That's a good press. We don't know what the fuck they're doing.
I feel like that boy Elon got low. The past 2 weeks, that boy Elon got low.
Because shit's been going south for him
every day. But the past 2 weeks, he ain't even nowhere to be seen.
Bro, you seen what's been happening to that boy? That boy probably regretting getting into politics, bro. Yeah, that boy definitely regretting getting into politics. You see what happened to that boy? He been getting cooked.
His stock's getting cooked.
He's getting cooked. Sure. He's been getting cooked. And now that he made his car political too, right? Now he made his car political, and now people are fucking. If you have a Tesla, even if you're
they're vandalizing it.
Yeah, now they're vandalizing your shit.
They burning them shits.
And they was already vandalizing before then too.
You know what? You know what? I was always so confused about Elon Musk. You would think the Democrats is your since you're all about this clean energy, electric vehicles. You would think that you would want to be on the side and be friendly with the Democrats, because those are the people who are all environmental conscious and we're trying to transfer everything into electric power vehicles and try to get rid of the gas shit. Like that's the group. That's the group that are
Trump man's adopted it though. The Trump man adopted it now.
The Trump mans want the gas. They want gas. Drill, drill, bro.
I seen the Trump mans. They in the cyber trucks now and all of this. You know
yeah, all that dumb shit. But
I seen a few of them.
They don't usually want the gas guzzling vehicles, yo. They want the gas guzzling vehicles. So that's always interesting. That's very, very interesting. But that's neither here or there. I think that's enough.
I saw what they said. I saw they said he lost 140 billion from the stocks being down. We're still up 400. I said, nigga, how?
He's rich as hell. You're rich as hell. But he's definitely feeling it. You know why? Because he was probably had some government contracts lined up. I think with what Skylink or whatever that shit. But Canada said, y'all doing that shit. We just canceling that shit. We upping the price of Tesla over here. Like he fucked up, bro. I think as he should be passive. He shouldn't really take a political stance, left or right. Because you could then, as a businessman, you could sell your shit to everybody. But now that you took such a hard stance,
I think you took such a hard stance. Like what crazy? Now? I think it's like I'm up so crazy, it don't even make no difference.
You don't care.
Let me try and make some shit shake. Let me try and make some shit shake type shit.
That's what I'm saying. But now he's gonna
make some history type of shit.
Yeah, because he's rich. So now he wants to okay, I want to be in the history books. I probably want to. Yeah, you're right. It's probably some ego trip. But once again, as a company, I feel like you should be in the middle of all of this as if you're doing business. It only makes sense. So now you can sell to both instead of taking such a strong political stand. And now we got people vandalizing your cars. Now your cars are being, we're thinking about putting an extra tax on your cars and shit. Like now it's just nasty for you. Well, that's what you guess.
He said he once wanted to vandalize,
but all right, yo, let's move on, bro. Let's move on, man. Let's talk about marathon, bro. We ain't gonna be here too long, man. We ain't gonna be.
Ew.
Jack, I saw you tweet. You did an 11-hour podcast. See, this is why I can't ask Jack to come on this and be
11.
I saw Jack tweet. He did an 11-hour podcast, bro. I can't stomach it to have my boy Jack here like that, bro. Like, come on, bro. 11-hour yo, this guy's doing.
It definitely was 11 hours, man.
Holy fuck!
Y'all go over there and support Jack Move on his podcast adventures, because that's crazy.
Please do, goddamn! I'm tired of shit.
All right, so let's talk about marathon, man. So it seems like a big reveal is coming on the weekend, man.
Saturday.
How y'all feeling? You think Bungie's
finally gonna be able to see the fucking game? Like that's how I'm feeling.
I guess Bungie got a hit on their hands, right? Yes or no? What y'all think? That's hate. Why?
Waste of $3 billion. Waste of $3 billion.
Why you say that? I think I'm more positive on it. I think they're gonna come clutch. I'm gonna jump out the ledge.
You seen the artwork? How it look?
I like it. I like the style.
You guys remember when they said they did the play test and they said, "Yo, y'all fuck with it? Raise your hands." Nobody raised their hand.
You know what?
I feel about it. I don't know how I feel.
You know what? But Jack, that's actually perfect though. Are you tweaking? I would if people are coming and do a play test and the play test says, "Yo, this shit sucks," right? Early in the development, I think that's good news. Versus them being passive, them being passive and just happy to be here type shit. Like, oh my god, I got to play something. I'd rather come and say shit. No, but I'd rather them come and identify issues during development. I think that's what a playtest is for. Come and identify the issues where this shit sucks so they can fix that shit. Man. So if the shit got fixed, then I'm happy.
Nobody fuck with it. Nobody fuck with it.
I'm on the side. I'm happy with that shit, bro. That shit's fucking. If they said it's shit and they went back to the drawing board and fixed that shit, then I'm happy. But aesthetically, I love it. I like kind of the whole little aesthetic they got going on for it, bro. I think Bungie gonna come clutch,
me,
bro.
It's the extraction shooter that I've never really played extraction shooters, so they're gonna have to sell me on this. As far as like the gameplay loop and shit like that. But I do like what I'm seeing from the aesthetic and the art design and the music and stuff like that. All of that looks good. Yeah.
The marketing's been big. Have you noticed that the marketing has been big? This is not no type of Concord type of marketing. You know what I mean? The marketing.
Yeah, they're doing a lot of ARG stuff.
Yeah,
a lot of stuff you gotta like decode, excuse me, and shit like
they're
that.
Trying to get the community hyped.
And...
They're trying to get the community hyped, pretty much, and I think they're doing good. I don't know. I think. Obviously, we haven't seen gameplay for it, but if I'm gonna make an educated guess and jump out of the ledge, I'm gonna think that they're gonna cook some. That's good.
Man,
I think they're gonna cook something.
You just staying in with the Concord plan. We're not trying to hear from you, bro.
First of all, you got that too, bro. You got that too. Shut up, bro.
I do.
Shaming somebody when you got it too is crazy. I like that.
0.2%. 0.2%, gang. Yes, sir.
Yeah, yes, sir. I don't know, man. Like J-Main, I haven't really dived deep into the extraction shooter like genre, so I don't know too much. People say like it's gonna be something like Escape from Tarkov. Hopefully, something dope. I don't know if it's gonna be like Division Dark Zone, but it seems like it's gonna have some sort of loot system where
it'll be more in depth than that.
Yeah,
it'll be more in depth than that though.
You die. So, but I'm very interested in learning more. It's on a weekend, and it's gonna be a pretty probably gonna be a pretty big event. You know, the last time Bungie did a new IP was Destiny, and that turned out to be
Destiny was big.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how you feel about it today, but it did turn out to be like a mega hit franchise. Like from transitioning from that to Halo. From Halo to Destiny was big, right? So let's see if they can do it again. I do have some sort of faith that they'll probably cook something decent. I don't think it's gonna be a bad game. No matter what it is, I can't see it being bad. I'll be shocked if it's bad.
And they definitely have an avenue to approach with extraction shooters on consoles, because there's not really a big genre on consoles. I know PC has a couple variations and stuff like that. So if they can make it like I guess you would say a console friendly type of extraction shooter that's not maybe as hardcore as some of them extraction shooters on PC get real hardcore, and like when you die you fucking lose everything.
It has to be approachable. Has to be approachable.
Yeah, niggas ain't gonna really come back too much to something like that, especially when they got so many other online multiplayer games to play. So it'll be interesting to see how they balance that from a console approach and stuff like that.
I think they say it's gonna be like PvPvE. I think there's some potential here. I want to see more. I definitely want to see more. I hope narratively it's better than Destiny, because I think that's the thing that kind of took me out of Destiny. Is just
you think it's gonna have like a big narrative to it?
I think they're gonna do some not like a story mode, but I think they're obviously gonna have some story to it. You know what I mean? They're probably gonna try the Destiny thing again, but I just didn't like the way Destiny kind of conveyed its narrative. It was always confusing to me, and it seemed like you have to I don't know.
I feel like they're gonna lean into a lot of like kind of like the players kind of creating the story and like shaping the world and stuff like that. So I don't know if they'll be, because there is environmental enemies and shit like that too. So those have to have some backstory, and the world itself have to have backstory. But I think a lot of decisions made within the world and what players find will shape the lore and stuff like that of that game.
And all right,
another game you're gonna tell the Discord to buy and then not play with on Kofi.
Like, oh my god, I'm not telling nobody to buy nothing. Play a marathon if you want to. We got 142 people in here. If you're enjoying the show and the conversations, go ahead and hit that like button, man. Don't be stingy. Go ahead and hit that like button. Show your boy some support. Let's talk about pricing. I do think this launches at a normal price. What do you guys think? I don't think this is going to be a free to play. I don't think it's going to. I think it's going to be a normal price.
This might be a 40.
Yeah, I can see it being 40.
I don't think. Really, you think Bungie?
One Destiny 40?
Before
it was free?
No, that was a full price retail game, sir.
Destiny 2 was full price?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
When it launched on PC, I think it was free though, right?
They transitioned to a free to play model later down the road.
So all the expansions is just 40. The game was full price, but then the expansions is like 40.
Yeah, I don't think this is gonna be a free to play. I don't think this is gonna be a budget multiplayer game because of who they are. You understand? I think because of who they are, they're gonna charge full price for this.
Well, they built up clout. I mean, you know.
Yeah, I think they got the clout to sell a game at a standard price for people to check it out. Especially if the reveal like it shows and look good. I don't see why they wouldn't price this at like a regular retail game, like a Battlefield or a Call of Duty. What you say?
You think it's gonna show and look good this weekend?
I do actually. I do.
You think so?
Call me crazy, but I think I do.
I was just about to ask, how much is Tarkov? Because that could be like a baseline of where they might range.
I'm sure that's probably like $20. Or
Once again, I think a lot of people purchase games off pedigree, bro. Like that Destiny, coming off the backs of Destiny, I don't see them. I'll be shocked with some sort of free
Destiny. Man,
I don't think it's gonna be free.
Yeah, I'm shocked if it's $30 a game or $40.
I think it would be full. I think because I don't think it's gonna have as much story as Destiny did, and we all know that that story should be taking up a lot of the budget. When it comes to like cutscenes and voice acted and maybe even mocap and all that other shit, I think this might be like a $40 game.
It's a $40 game. I don't think it's gonna cost yo, bro. It's not gonna be the same price as Helldivers. Ain't no way.
Maybe no 50 then. Maybe 50 then.
Ain't no fucking way it's gonna be the same price. Okay, maybe 50. Maybe 50. If not 60, it's gonna be
50. They operating on their own, right? So do they control the price, and does the Sony come in and tell them how much to charge?
That's a good question.
I think Bungie operates at its own. As of this moment, I think they still operate on their own because the purchase was kind of different. It wasn't like really under the PlayStation umbrella. In the sense, it was like they just kind of bought them.
No, it's not.
As a Sony, it's like a Sony purchase type shit. Like they operate on their own.
Yeah, it was.
Like how Microsoft buy Activision
that's what I had to get.
Sense.
Yeah. If this game fails, if this game fails, don't Sony take them over officially as a PlayStation studio?
I think that's what happens if it's not managed properly. Like if Bungie turns out to not get like if poor management happens with Bungie and they falter and they fall short, I think that's when PlayStation Studios like really absorbs them and gets more maybe creative control to say
that has already started too. With some of the other like smaller teams at Bungie being moved over.
They're making a new IP. They're making a new IP. Remember?
Yeah,
I said that.
Yep. Yeah, Gummy Bears or some shit like that.
It's like it's supposed to be some sort of Smash Bros clone, no?
Yeah, that was definitely what it was sounding like.
Jesus Christ. Gummy Bears.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that. Hopefully, you're not really playing as Gummy Bears or anything crazy like that.
That shit sound.
Why you said it like that, Gummy Bears?
They look at Sony fans like, well, they don't really play, online games like that. Let's make one based on Gummy Bears. What do you think? Yeah. Good idea, dumbass.
For real, bro. All right, so we're gonna see more.
They got a lot. They got a lot riding. Hopefully, it has an alpha or a beta. Like they don't just. Say, all right, the game is coming out, then this one you can play it first or some shit like that.
Yes, sir. I definitely hope so.
A lot riding on it, though. We'll see.
All right, so moving on, and this will probably be the last topic of the day before we get out of here. Almost at that 2-hour mark. Xbox has announced their showcase. They have announced their showcase pretty much. It's going to be, correct me if I'm wrong, it's off memory, June 8th? Is it June 8th?
June 8th, yep.
June 8th.
June 8th live stream event. They're doing the Xbox Game Showcase first. Yes, digital only. I see some type of rumor that said that it's digital only because they are afraid of the backlash of games being announced for other platforms.
They're not going to have a crowd this year, huh?
J-Main, I was just about to get into that, and bro, I'm totally with this conspiracy. I know this is not confirmation, but I could see that really being the conspiracy.
You can see the Xbox niggas really
bro, can you imagine? Not bum rush the stage. Yo, but can you imagine as them all in the crowd? Because I've been to one event like that in Canada where they did just a streaming event, like a live stream, and we all came in the theater and watched. Had some of the Canadian Xbox heads there. Like I've been to something like that, right? Can you imagine? This is the day of the event. They're all in there in the group watching it together, right? And it comes on the screen. Halo, Master Chief Collection, Gears Collection. They do the trailer. Yeah. Whoa. We back, baby. It gets to the end of the trailer. You see at the bottom corner, available on Xbox Series X, Nintendo Switch 2, Game Pass, and PlayStation 5. You don't think Phil Spencer is gonna be there, sitting in the crowd over there, and you know what I mean. It's gonna be a nasty business. It's gonna be nasty business seeing that happen. So it makes sense.
That nigga like
it makes so low key.
GM.
So it makes sense to have it staggered. You do the digital event, the dudes are gonna cry. They do their crying out loud at home, whine, cry, bitch, moan in the comments, cry this that. Then they have the fan fest after people calm down and fucking come back and play some of the new games that they got showing. Like low key, I'm rolling with that theory, bro. I think that's real, bro. There's also a rumor saying that there won't be don't expect too many huge surprises here. How do you guys feel about that? How do you guys feel about that? You think Microsoft kind of blew? You think they blew their load at this point? If you really think about it, I think a lot of the games that they got,
like all of their studios already got something announced and shit like that.
Low key. I'm sure there's other secret projects being worked on, but a lot of the major games coming from Xbox, we do know what they are. Whether it be the Fable, Gears E-Day, we already know something is happening in Halo, but we don't know exactly what. Some sort of remake.
Yeah, that might be too early.
It might be too early to show because they just moved on to Engine 5.
Perfect Dark. I mean, that's
what I'm saying.
Surprise,
that's a repeat. That's what I'm saying. There's a repeat.
Yeah.
So there's a rumor going on saying don't expect major surprises as well. Maybe that's why it could be a digital event. Who knows, bro? Who really knows?
Yeah, I can see that. I would be shocked if there is actually a lot of surprises. That would be shocking. But it would probably be more on like maybe like a smaller title scale. Like they could probably have a bunch of like Activision revivals from like dead IP or IP we haven't seen in a while. As far as like Bethesda goes, I doubt we see like Elder Scrolls at this point right now. But I don't know if they have like any. Oh, what about yeah, that's a repeat too. Contraband. It would really be like an update on a lot of games.
You know, this might be the giveaway. This might be a giveaway though. Shout out to Wall Diggity. I believe that's how you pronounce it. He just typed in the chat. Showcase is gonna be mid because they're doing Outer Worlds 2 direct after. You understand? If that's their if you really think about it, if that's their kind of like closer or after this, watch this. You think there's a possibility that like there might not be something heavier? Because last time they did that was like with Starfield, but that Starfield was a major release at the time. Like it was something that was hyped up big. So who knows, man? I'm sure we're gonna see some new games that we haven't seen before. So I'm looking forward to it nonetheless. But there's a rumor that Gears Collection, the heavily rumored Gears Collection, will be making an appearance. I'll be really happy about that. Shit, if that hits PlayStation, that would be awesome as well. So the player pool can be lit. I would love to see that. Jack, would you buy it?
She says no getting online. She says no getting online.
Yeah, that's a rumor. The rumor that there's gonna be no multiplayer. I'm a little disappointed about that. That is a little disappointing.
I never got to play Gears 2 or 3, so I mean, I'll probably get it. I already beat Gears 1 before.
You played that Ultimate joint on PC, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
You didn't fuck with it? You didn't fuck with it?
It was alright. That shit,
Jack, that's a classic.
I mean, it didn't blow my socks off or no shit like that, but I thought it was a really cool game, decent game.
Jack, it was
a decent game.
That's a classic. Gears 1? Oh, come on. I know you're deep in the stables. I know you still got it in you, but yo, that game when that dropped, that was different, Jack. I don't know if y'all can relate back then. That game was different. Back then, definitely. That shit was different. I used to see clips of that game. Yeah, I used to see clips of that game when I handled it. That was a different game. Maybe playing it now.
When he was chainsawing people at half and shit, I was like, damn,
that shit was different, bro.
I'm sure it was.
That shit was different. I think it was 2008 that shit dropped, no? Or 2007.
Gears 1?
Gears 1. Was that a 2008? I don't think it was 9.
2006.
Was it 6 when that dropped? That was no. That's when that.
Yeah, pretty sure.
No, the 360.
I was still in high school.
The 360 launched in 2006, so it can't be that.
No, I think it was. Yeah, it was. No, the 360 was 2005.
It came out 05. It came out 05.
It came out 05? That's crazy. I got my dates wrong then. I got my dates wrong.
The PS3 came out in 06.
Okay.
It was 06 November.
Yeah, I was still in high school. I
remember looking at it. Yeah, I think it came out like around the same day or same week as the PS3.
That game was different, bro. That's when people started getting Red Rings of Death too, bro. That's what I think that's the game. That's the game that might have kicked that shit off. I ain't gonna hold you. No, that was the game that kicked that shit off, bro.
That was literally around when I got my Red Ring of Death, which is why I ended up with the PS3 and didn't really play Gears like that. Hell yeah, that's exactly what the fuck happened.
Low key, that shit kicked off the Red Ring of Death, bro. What I tell you, ain't know about that. What do you know about
definitely
that,
wrapped my
bro?
shit in the towel.
Tony don't know nothing about that. Tony was a fucking toddler when that shit dropped, bro. Come on, bro.
I couldn't play Minecraft no more, yo. I was tired.
Did you go see the Minecraft movie?
No, not yet. I wasn't gonna see it, but now.
What you mean not yet?
I wasn't planning on seeing it, but now I'm like,
you seen you said to be able to chicken jockey shit, whatever the fuck.
People bring chickens to the theater.
Yeah, somebody brought a live chicken in that motherfucker.
What the fuck?
They got signs up like, please don't throw stuff at the screen during the chicken jockey scene. It's like, bro, what the fuck?
I don't
even know what
I don't get that. I don't get that community. I did see a clip on Twitter where they're wilding out. Everyone was like whipping popcorn at each other. Like, I don't even understand what's going on. I don't know.
You don't get the community, Kofi?
I don't know what's going on with the mountain cat. That's something that Tony could maybe teach me about. I don't know.
No, sir. No,
you ain't got the tism, man. You ain't got the tism.
But this is my first time. So this is my first time hearing about the chicken jockey shit. I just know that meme coin went to 7 million about that shit, and I didn't know what it was related to. Now I'm like, is it some Minecraft shit?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
All right, just to circle back before we get out of here to some Nintendo Switch shit, because I did ask this question prior to the launch on Twitter, and it's looking like it might be the case. Yo. You know how I think we're in the era of Nintendo with sequel consoles now. I think they just keep on making Switches. What do you guys think? I was thinking about that. Then rumors came out that Intel to produce NVIDIA chips for Nintendo Switch 3, apparently. So it's already a rumor going on that Intel is producing the next Nintendo device. So I guess my question was that I asked the timeline at the time is like, prior to all of this, I'm like, yo, do you think Nintendo is pretty much gonna only make sequel Switch consoles at this point?
Well,
and I kind of think they will, because I don't see them going back, Jack, to making a dedicated handheld and a dedicated home console. I don't think they're ever going back to that, brother.
Because if you remember some years ago, they merged. They had developers that made console games, and they made handheld games. They merged them both.
Yeah, and it worked because now their output was crazy. Because you remember the Wii U output was nasty because they couldn't balance the two. The DS was getting great games, but they couldn't balance the two. So it legit solved their. Have you noticed it solved their first party their game creation problem when they merged both of them, right? They quote unquote made the hybrid because now they all just make all the games just come to one place now. Now all of a sudden this one device has so much fucking games. So do you ever see them separating them, making a dedicated handheld device and a dedicated home console? I don't think that ever happens again.
No.
So are we in the era of Nintendo only making the hybrid Switch? That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah,
I think they only make a Switch now.
Not. That shit makes perfect sense for them.
It's the best selling. It's finna be the best selling console of all time. Why? No pun intended. Why switch? Like, why change? Like, it is what it is. Like,
right.
Yeah, so I thought it was an interesting conversation. Like, I wanted to pose that question on Twitter, and it's funny enough, we actually got a rumor referencing the Nintendo Switch 3, and I think we might be entering an era where Nintendo just does sequel consoles, at least for the foreseeable future. Because I don't see.
Would you be upset with that?
Would
you be upset with that?
No, part of me feels a little bit part of me feels sad about that in the sense that like Nintendo was the one company that does some weird shit that it kind of is interesting. Like we always Nintendo was never always a primary console for me. At least years back it was, but you know, obviously modern Nintendo was never. It was always a secondary device. So I didn't mind Nintendo doing weird shit because it was always a secondary device. So whether it was my PlayStation or whatever, you know. So, but now if they're just gonna be making Switch after Switch, I don't know. It does seem like it takes a little bit of their luster away or their little special away a little bit. That's how
But the mouse, yo.
Oh my God. That's how I feel. So I think that's just an interesting observation. I guess we'll see in the future if we just get another Switch device, another handheld Switch device. Maybe you know what? Maybe they'll just leave the brand. They'll leave the brand in alone and go somewhere else. But essentially, it will be the same thing. Like I could see that being a thing too. I mean, like they might leave
like
Switch,
change the name and shit.
They might leave Switch, but they might create something else. But it's essentially a Switch. It's still a handheld thing, and But that
I don't know,
man.
I don't see why they just keep going.
Keep going.
Yeah.
With that being said, let's wrap it up here, man. It was a good pod, man. It was a good pod, man. Jack, how do you feel about doing podcasts that don't go past 2 hours, bro? How do you feel about that?
Hey, man, it's a blessing, bro. It's a blessing. glad to be here, man. Glad to be here.
I'm just.
Oh yeah, y'all gonna be in the After Dark for a minute because they got The Last of Us.
Bro,
the season 2, episode 1 is Sunday.
We gotta watch this round face head ass girl. Oh my god, that's an extra hour right there, man. Damn, why you remind me, bro? Y'all see that clip? I'm infected. Bitch, shut up. Shut up.
Yo, that girl's I feel bad for her. She's been getting mad fucking straight. But the thing is, like, once again, she's not even a bad actor, but she just don't really.
She don't look the part.
She don't look the part. I think that's what people are struggling with. Is that she looks a little. Even Ellie in the first Last of Us, she does look innocent in the game, like very innocent. But she looks a little bit more mature by part 2 in the sense where like. Like the tone of her tone is like really different. So let's see how it goes after
I do think that clip is a flashback. Shit, I hope so.
But even still, they gonna have to elongate her to make her look taller like they did in the poster. But do you know how crazy it is, right? And I ain't got no problem with Bella Ramsey. I love Game of Thrones. Do you know how crazy it is for somebody that's working with her on this show to say, "Hey, I think you might got autism."
Oh, you showing out. Ain't no way somebody said that. Ain't no way somebody said that.
That's how she found out. She got it. That's how she found out. A crewmate on the last TV show, bro.
You didn't see that article?
They said, no. They said, I think you got autism. She went, it got checked, and yeah, she do got it. Somebody on the work on the last one. Swear to God.
This is not a joke.
I say that.
No, ain't nothing funny. Ain't nothing funny about the shit. That's a real true story.
J-Man, show your face, nigga. Show your face, nigga.
What the fuck?
Ain't that crazy though? Like, what does she be doing, bro? Like.
Oh,
man.
That's crazy.
But reviews came out, bro. The reviews is fire for that joint, though. Y'all see the reviews?
Reviews fire for the first season. The first season was shit.
I feel like they ain't played the game, Kofi.
They ain't played the game, right? Yeah.
That's only the first half of the game, though, right? This first half of the game. This season's first half of the game.
Yeah. That's what they said. I thought they were gonna do something like that because if you take it in, there's a lot of ground to cover. There's even more ground to cover than
it is.
There's a lot of ground to cover to pack in like 8 episodes or some shit like that, bro.
I wonder how they're gonna be splitting it up though. Like if it's gonna be like
Ellie Day 1, Ellie Day 2.
So where do you think
they introduce both characters? Like
where they do the cutoff?
I think
no. The good question is where they do the cutoff. Where they
when Jesse get clapped when she get to the theater.
Oh, that's not a bad cutoff.
That's the halfway point of the game.
So low key, that's like an act one. Low key, that's like an act of the game right there too.
That's the half of the game.
Yeah, because that's right before you switch over and get the backstory of old girl.
That's not bad. Yeah, you're right about that. That does make.
And that's a good cliffhanger for season 2 as well.
That's yeah. When Abby pulls up in the theater with the gun in the front, I can see them ending it just like that. You know.
Oh, and they fight and shit like that.
Yeah, yeah. The gun in the theater. Abby pulls up, claps old boy, and they boom cliffhanger. Boom. Season 3. Find out what happens right after that too. And I guess they're gonna jump into
either that or she found a note. You remember she found the note when she found her friends dead and shit. That's how she knew where they was at.
Yeah.
They did either one really.
I can see them ending there too. Makes sense. Okay. Real quick before we get out of here, why did they name The Last of Us complete? Does that kind of imply that like they done? Am I reading too much into it, Jack? What do you think?
It's a stupid name. They gonna make a third game. They're not leaving the money on the table, bro. As many times they release these fucking 2 games, they better make a third game, bro.
Yeah, I think they're just trying to get as many people as possible to buy this shit. Like, all right, this is gonna be the last time we're putting this shit out with that, and then
they want the TV show to blow and make part 3 pretty much.
They saying shit like the complete story as of right now to catch up with the, you know what I mean? Then part 3 come out. Oh well, we can't. It was because then
Neil Druckmann did a little interview the other day where he says that everything he creates is like as if it's going to be the last version of that. So it has a definitive ending. So even if like they felt like Last of Us 2 had a definitive ending, if something else comes about and they feel like they can create off that, they'll do a part 3. So
I hate Neil Druckmann, bro.
It's like they got
what Factions 2 at? What Factions 2 at, man? Goddamn.
I ain't get that shit. It's over, man.
This is crazy, bro. You lucky, Jay, man. Hey, you lucky. I was gonna do you dirty. You lucky.
You was good.
Who, me?
You definitely was gonna get done, dog. I was gonna shoot your head off, all type of shit. I was gonna blow my fucking back out, nigga. What's up?
Yo, J-Main, watch out. Her boy Jack about to heal his teammates, bro. He deadly.
Oh, you funny.
Oh, here he comes. Digging up somebody's ass to heal him.
Low key, Jack did some carrying. For me. I ain't gonna lie.
Videos on my YouTube when I played with Kofi and Tony last time. The videos on my YouTube. Y'all can see what I did. Y'all can see.
You did some carrying. What's it called? Shit, I asked
Here's
something.
a health pack.
Shit, I wanted to ask.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
So, any chances? What's the bets that we get Intergalactic remastered for PS6?
You know what's happening, bro.
99.9% chance.
Yeah, you know what's happening, bro.
Yes.
Yo, if you had, I'm sorry to tell y'all, if y'all had a problem with cross-gen this generation, I think the PS6
it's gonna get worse. It's gonna be worse.
I think it's gonna be worse.
I've been said that. It is gonna be worse.
I think it's gonna be worse.
It's over. I was actually surprised
we are
that
in gaming, bro.
Nintendo had a much more definitive cutoff because they got 2 games coming out this year that are not coming to the Switch 1 that are their big titles for the year.
You know what? Because they know
Donkey Kong and Mario Kart World.
Bro, you know the longevity for that Mario Kart is going to be crazy. That's going to be a top seller for like a hot minute, right? So they already know that. That's going to move the unit. That's going to move the unit itself.
Donkey Kong was interesting.
If y'all have a problem with the cross-gen shit, I think y'all just enjoy the video games, because at this point I think
the problem is that they cross-gen, but then you re-release them. Like, bro, we could play them already in 4K 60. Bro, they going to re-release Intergalactic in like 2028 when the PS6 come out, and it just came out in 2027. Like, bro, and it's already playable. That's the problem. If it wasn't already playable, like people try to bring up Last of Us Remastered, bro, you cannot play the Last of Us PS3 edition on a fucking PS4. That's the whole point.
That one made sense. That one made a whole lot of sense, because that
you can play every game on the fucking PS5,
that came towards the end of it, so that made a lot of sense. The game came towards the end of the generation too, so no. Yeah.
Now she just playable on everything same. That's great.
What Jimmy was saying, I think Mario Kart, that's just this is gonna move the system. But Donkey Kong,
that's gonna move the shit. Yeah.
I heard everything's destructible, and the game is kind of running like buns even on Switch too. So maybe that's a performance reason why it's not on the first Switch.
They can't get that shit running on the first one. Yeah, you can't destroy everything in that game. That shit is crazy.
That shit does look good. Looks really good. All right, man. Let's wrap it up, man. It was a good podcast. Yo, Jack, I appreciate you coming in and tapping in with us, man. We do appreciate you. You know you're always welcome. Always welcome.
Yes, sir.
Anytime you want to come, you could come over here, bro. You know you're always welcome, bro.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Tony, fuck you, nigga. Jack, J Main.
What the fuck?
I'm playing Tony. I appreciate you too, bro. I'm just talking shit. I appreciate you. Thank you for saying up, man, and coming on the podcast.
Of course.
You still on probation.
What time is it over there?
You and Strat still on probation. You still might get fired, but I do appreciate you coming in. You know what I mean? Today you were better than most days. So the last couple of times.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
Get that energy up, man. Get that energy up.
People want, that's the complaint, bro. Y'all too cool, bro. Like, yo, liven up, bro. Liven up, man. Y'all lively people.
Like a clown for the podcast. I wore a fucking business suit for the podcast.
Yeah, turn up, bro. Like, relax. All that cool shit don't fly around here, bro. Like, just come here and let's chop it up, like how we do, bro. What's it called? J Main, you already know
don't miss
what
that
it is,
super
bro.
chat.
We got a super chat?
I think you had one.
I felt like I read it.
Oh, no, you read it.
Yeah, I read it. Yeah,
you read it.
All right.
Okay.
J Main, man, you already know what we do, man.
Yes, sir.
Any closing words for the people before I turn this shit off?
Nah. Just shout out to everybody tuning in. Make sure you hit that like button on the way out the door, and we'll catch y'all next week, man. Should have some more to talk about.
Yes, sir. Peace. Y'all have a good night.
Peace.